Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.
And good evening. It is Friday night here again at Brook Hill, and it is a big one here on NETSN as it is the Brook Hill Guard hosting, I won't even say crosstown rivals, Chad, because we're not in the same town, but if you want to talk about rivalry games, maybe across the state, across the country, I'm not sure it gets much better than these two.
Yeah, this is a big one. It's some people like to say, "Oh, that ain't no rivalry. We beat them so many times." I promise you, they're as fired up tonight as we are over here on this side of the field.
Man, it is a great night here, and I'll tell you what, whether they like each other or not, when these two schools play each other, it's pretty impressive, the crowd that you get, and it's pretty impressive the atmosphere here in the stadium, and it is no exception tonight.
Yeah, I mean, hey, tonight I walk in and see my first athletic director that I ever worked for in Texas, and he's on the Grace sideline tonight. And hey, when this kicks off, we're not friends right now. You know, it's one of those games you respect it. But you know, it's Brook Hill against Grace.
But do you? Yeah, no. It's one of those things. Honestly, this is, and it's really it's always Grace week when there's a football game. But they played each other in volleyball last night. There was a JV game last night, and then tonight. And so it's really kind of Grace week, and it is hands down the biggest week of the year for both schools. You hate to say it, but if they didn't win many other games but this one, they'd be pretty happy.
You know, it's like. You know, you see them in college, you know, the A&M Texas game, you know, the Notre Dame Miami game. You know, there's those games that, you know, if you win that one, you can hang the hat on the season, you know.
And it adds much to it this year because it is a district contest, and it's an important district contest because we saw last week Regents is probably the team to beat.
Absolutely.
Grace and Brook Hill and Hyde Park are in that mix for that second spot. Who's going to get the second home playoff game? And this is a big one for both schools. Grace won last week against a Brentwood team that we thought was going to be better than I think they were. But this tonight, the loser of this one is probably not getting a home playoff game, and they know that early.
Yeah, and you've got to go out tonight and establish your football mentality from the kick. It's got to be nothing held back tonight. It's how we respond, especially after last week.
And look, two faith-based schools, two private schools, doesn't matter. No, all right, let me say it matters. Yeah. It matters, but don't get it twisted for what it is or it's not because of that. And you can see the Brook Hill team making it out. It's a big night for Brook Hill also. It's Parade of Nations. We're going to have that for you at halftime. So if you're a parent of a boarding student, make sure you check that out at halftime. We're also going to visit with Sean Rhodes, who's the assistant head of school and is over the boarding program. He will be on with us before that ceremony to visit with us a little bit about boarding and what's going on this year in boarding. And we've had some great guests this year. Sean will be another one in the group. Chad, let's talk about these two teams. Both of them come in with a 2-2 record. But it hasn't looked the same for these two schools.
No, I mean, you know, Grace, you know, they played some decent, you know, public schools, and that's not taking anything away from Brook Hill's schedule because, I mean, we played Legacy and, you know, Redwater, you know, they've been up, they've been down. Carlisle's really good. You know, Grace has had Pittsburgh, New Boston, so they've been tested, but it's going to be a battle tonight. You know, Grace, you know, they lost their quarterback, freshman, Slade Etheridge. You know, it's a huge loss for them. But, you know, they put Cole Stanley in there at quarterback, and it's, you know, he's just an athlete, and that's why they've got him in that position. I'll tell you right now, that right there with all the flags from the different countries that our team represents, that tells you a lot right there. That's neat to see. Back to Grace, you know, it's going to be Cole Stanley, Doak Porter, and Brendan Alexander are those three. And if you can stop that, you got a great opportunity to win.
Yeah, Alexander was a sophomore last year as a running back. He was pretty good in that Grace win. It was a Grace win last year. We'll talk more about that throughout the night as we go. We're getting ready now for the presentation of the colors down the field, the national anthem, opening prayer. We'll take you down to the sideline for all of that at this time.
Now join me as we are led in prayer by Mr. Nate Matei.
Heavenly Father, we are humbled tonight to be here. God, thank you for dying on the cross so that we might live.
Coach, thanks for having us out today.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys being here. It's, hopefully it's a big game feel here in the gym. We've been talking about getting the game.
Thank you, ladies. Excellent job.
It's a holiday week, and that's weird, but we appreciate you guys being here either way.
Awesome. We're excited to be here. I got KO Kyle Owens going to join me on the
we got all kind of stuff.
All
right, we got all kind of stuff going on, guys. I apologize. We're trying to figure out exactly what we got here. Hold on. All right, Chad. Now we're back.
We had audio from where?
It's basketball season. Yeah, we got all kind of stuff going on here. All right, we're back, and we're ready for football, and we're having a little trouble with our crowd mic here, but do not worry. We're going to get that going back again and ready to go. Yeah, that was different, Chad. Not sure what was happening there. Yeah. I was listening to that, and I was like, man, that was something that Brett and I recorded a long time ago. All right, you go ahead and give us our captains for the game tonight.
Captains for Grace, number 2, Justice McQuay. Number 60, Braden Wells. Number 9, Cole Stanley. Number 1, Doak Porter. Number 25, L. Hetch. And I can't see the other one for Brook Hill. Number 15, Cole Schluter. Number 1, Zachary Ryle. Number 3, Gio Orico. And number 28, Hayden Watson.
Okay, all right, I think we have figured out, Chad. We had a little I had a little power issue. That tends to be the case up here for me. When something's not working, it's usually because I either didn't plug it in or didn't turn it on.
Or you unplugged it.
Or I unplugged it. But I think our crowd mic's going out. And look, either way, it was a great national anthem by some former students here at Brook Hill. All right, we are ready now. Just as a reminder, once again, here at home, we will not have the clock for you. We will keep you up to date on the clock the best that we can as we go through the night. First downs, all that kind of stuff we'll have for you. If you're watching tonight in the chat, make sure and tell us where you're at. I see right now Patrick Ritchie and Sid's dad are both watching from Quebec, Canada. Yona's dad, Sarah Hobby, he's watching in Finland. We got worldwide going on. It's Grace and it's Brook Hill, and I'm not sure it gets much better.
I got chills right now, baby. It's a game that it's Friday Night Football. It's Grace Week. It's Brook Hill, and it's I'm telling you, I've got chills.
And here's the thing:
we know what it's about.
Yeah, if you've ever been a part of it, more than just sitting in the stands watching it, then you know what it is.
We still get. Just sitting up here getting to call the game, we're still as excited, and because we're still part of this, of this rivalry, and it's fun.
Yeah, the last thing Brett Swinney told me today on the phone: be nice tonight. Listen, Brett, and everybody watching, I'm gonna try. Okay, we don't have to be unbiased. Remember this: we a couple weeks ago, we were too biased. Well, guess what? If you don't like what we're saying tonight, I'm sorry. We're Brook Hill people. It's a Brook Hill broadcast tonight. They got their own. We'll figure it out later. Okay. Also got some people checking in. I see Tyler Vining in, Luke McNeil, Moody Ogaferi watching. They're watching in Norman, Oklahoma, where the only football team better than them is the Texas Longhorns at this point in the year, but we'll talk about that another time. All right, Grace is going to kick off, and it's number 18, Josiah King, to kick off. And the kick is going to go to the end zone. It is going to be fielded
Nico.
There by Nico Mettinen. And so this Brook Hill offense will have the ball first. The Goolsbys are watching tonight from Houston. Harrison Goolsby, of course, on our JV team, and he's had a great year so far. Marcelo Martinez checking in, Chad. This is like a who's who of the last few Brook Hill football teams watching. Listen,
it's Grace.
Yeah,
that's why they're watching.
Yeah, guys that maybe haven't watched the game all year, they're watching tonight for sure. Okay, so Brook Hill's going to come out now, 1st and 10 at the 25. Man, what an atmosphere! Just looking at the smoke across the screen there. So Ryle now, we've no Daniel Yates tonight. Tight end wing. They're going to go backside there to LaPointe, and LaPointe will pick up about 3 yards on the play, and we'll see. He will probably get a little heavier dose than what he's had, Chad. He, of course, was facing a few injuries over the last couple of weeks, and he's getting back. I don't think he's 100% yet, but he's getting close.
Yeah, you're going to see a little different, a few different looks tonight. You know, I know for a fact you're going to get a multiple look up front on the defense, and then offensively, Coach Copeland's going to try to counter that with offense.
2nd and 7, handoff to PA again. He's going to hit the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Buchanan, I'm sorry, on the tackle.
They're going to say he lost a yard on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8 for the guard.
So a little heavy dose of LaPointe here to start. Chad and Kristen Beller checking out the broadcast tonight. Thanks to those two. They've been two of our most faithful listeners. 3rd and 8. We'll check with me over there to the sideline and see what they want to do. Ryle dropping back, has time, hit the backfield. He does fumble the ball, and he got back on top of it. Back at the 21. So it'll be a loss of 5 on the play, or a loss of 6 on the play, actually.
Makes it 4th down and 15 for Brook Hill.
Be 4th and 14 at the 21.
Injured player on the field.
So a loss of 6 on that one. And it's 4th and 14, and that's been the start, right? It's just been a slow start on offense in every week so far, and they've been able to overcome that, right? Except for last week. And look, we throw that out the window.
Throw that out the window and
doesn't matter.
Try to forget about it. And I promise you, once they got on the bus last week, they were looking forward to being able to get back out on the field and play a football game. That just doesn't sit well.
So 4th and 14 now, 10:25 to play in the first quarter, and Ryle will come into punt. You got Doak Porter and Elijah Hicks back to receive the punt for the Cougars. Don't see many two return guy formations anymore. Riles, low line drive kicks and take a nice little hop there and take a Brook Hill bounce down inside the 40. And it'll be picked up at about the 36-yard line. And so not bad field position to start with on defense. And this defense, they're the group, Chad, they're the ones that really feel like, okay, we need to, after last week, we got to prove ourselves here.
We got to set the tone. We've got to play our scheme and play our defense that we've been working on since two-a-days. You know, I talked to Coach Collins today with getting Breck's body back this week is going to allow him to go back to our traditional 3-4 look.
So the quarterback for the Cougars, you mentioned it before the game, Cole Stanley, Braden Alexander, number 46. He's kind of the guy for them in the backfield.
And he is a load, I'll tell you that.
But you know what's funny about him when you watch him run? He wants to get to the outside. Normally a guy like that, he wants to run between the tackles. Yeah. He does not want to run between the tackles. And so, honestly, if you're the defensive players tonight, your goal is to funnel him to the middle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the conversation is here. See, they're sending a water boy after something. What are we doing here? All right. Our man take Kofer on the run. I'm curious. All right, 1st and 10 at the 36.
Somebody leave their flag?
They may have. They did. They're going to throw the flag. Stanley's going to chunk it up.
That's offensive.
Yeah, that's just an incompletion, but they're going to call a false or a offsides penalty against the defense.
And you can tell this is going to be a game for announcers that we get pretty. I get pretty excited. I don't know about you, but I will.
You're way too far from your mute button to be yelling like that. I'm going to have to keep one
hand.
Turn
me down.
I'm going to have to keep one hand on your mute button, one hand on mine, and hopefully not hit them both at the same time. Or you're just going to get the crowd mic, whatever you want.
Maybe best.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some people would say that. 2nd and 5 now, or 1st and 5 now, rather at the 41. After that penalty. Brook Hill back in their traditional 3-4 look on defense. And there goes Alexander, bouncing to the outside again, but he's tripped up and he's knocked down by Hayden Watson. No, excuse me, that's 25. That's Jonas Sarahavi that trips him up. No gain on the play.
If we can be just disciplined and play our technique, we're going to be perfectly fine. It just seems like, there's times when we get to thinking too much.
Absolutely.
And we think, oh, it's grace.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just another football team.
Coach Collins said this week, it's back to doing some simple things that we've been doing. The handoff to Alexander again, and they do a good job. Once again, hey, Breck's body on that outside made him go back inside. That's the benefit of having Breck's back.
Yeah, I mean, and he did exactly what our defensive end is taught to do on that. You stay far enough to make him go back inside, and that's what Coach Collins did. They've scouted it all week. They want to force him back inside because he doesn't like to run in there.
So 3rd down and 4 now. 8:57 and counting in the first quarter. Stanley, the quarterback, with a back to his right is Alexander, looking to pass. That's time. There's Rouleau. And Sidney can't hold on to him. Gregory Lacasse-Grandin has him, and he's down.
Great job by the defense.
That's a huge play on 3rd and 4 to make them now in a 4th and about 18 situation here, make them punt it away.
Right, yeah. That's huge, getting pressure from Sid, and then, Greg finishing him up, the two Canadians.
And Stanley is a tall kid.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
Most quarterbacks, when Sidney gets there, he's going down.
Yeah.
Stanley's he's not real thick, but he is definitely taller. And Lacasse-Grandin able to finish it off. 8:05 and counting here in this first quarter. No score. And the Cougars are going to punt after their first possession. And it's a good high kick. That is a great kick. That's Weisner back there, and he calls for the fair catch at the 31. And that's where the guard will have it next. So now, look, you weathered the storm. That's been the issue in a couple of games, right, where the offense did not have a great first drive, but the defense gave up points on the first drive, and now you answered back, and you get the big play. And it kind of reminds me of the Carlisle game a little bit, where you have a play. We had to play a couple plays later in that game where we kind of relaxed, and now you get that on the first drive.
Yeah, now let's see if we can relax offensively. Just go out and execute. That's all we're looking for.
I'd just say run it right over them. LaPointe is back there in the backfield. Little tight end wing look again here for the guard. Roselle and Schluter in there. Raul's going to hand off to LaPointe, and LaPointe hitting the backfield, and he'll fight back. He'll only lose a yard. Is a nice play there by Dylan Stinson for the Cougars. A loss of 1 for LaPointe.
3-4 defense for Grace. They're going stem, and they're going to move, and they're going to cross face, and they're going to get penetration. And our offensive linemen have just got to stay remembering their rules, stay on their track, and keep working.
You mentioned Phil Castles earlier, who's their defensive coordinator, longtime head coach in East Texas. He's a very multiple look on defense.
I coached in it.
We've heard it's a lot more 50 look for them this year, but he'll throw some different looks down tonight is my guess.
Absolutely.
Rao looking to pass now. Screen play set up, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Braden Gregory, and Gregory is going to be brought down at the 10 by LaPointe. And just that's the danger of a screen pass, right?
They just read it and played it just like they're supposed to. Now it's time for the defense, bow their neck, and let's keep them off the board.
Well, I will argue with anybody. We got one of the best defensive coordinators around.
I agree.
And he's not going to just lay down and say we're giving up points here. 7:02 on the clock in the first quarter, no score. And I'll be honest, for a defensive lineman, that is, as a former defensive line coach, Chad, that is like it's the wrong side, but it's beautiful to watch him read it the way he did. And instead of just pursuing the quarterback, he plays more flat, and he gets the interception. So Stanley now,
quarterback,
going to pull down, just run up the middle himself, and he's going to gain about 3 yards down to the 10. It'll be 2nd and 7. And look, I just maybe I'm wrong here, Chad, but if I was going to go against our defense, I would not want to run into the middle.
Right, yeah, but we've seen it a little bit, and I think that's what people, coaches, of course, you're going to scout it, and they're saying, oh, we got success, but our front three is as good as they come.
And no matter which, they're rotating 6 guys throughout the night. 2nd and 7-ish. They hand off to Alexander again, and he goes off the left side to about the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7 here, Chad, and I just feel like they're kind of playing into our hands with that run game right now.
Yeah, just
I
don't know. Hey, and of course, a lot of offensive coordinators, they'll script the first 10, just to see what they're getting looks at. But you got an opportunity inside the 10, I think that goes out the window.
But I'm curious, right? The script goes out the window down there, right? You can't stick with it. Here we go. 3rd down 7. Big play for the guard. Make them kick a field goal here. Stanley,
they love this play.
Yep, that is Cheetah. That's what we call it, and it's Hicks. And Hicks is going to be out of bounds after a gain of about 2. It's going to be 4th and 5 here, and now decision time.
They're going to bring the kicker on.
They do have a good kicker. They had a good one. Now his younger brother, Josiah King, is the kicker for the Cougars. And the King brothers have both put a lot of field goals through the last couple of years. And he'll have a chance here. 5:22 and counting here in the first quarter.
Well, we come away with them just getting 3 right here. That's a big stop for the defense, and now it's time for us to just regroup.
Yeah, forget that, though. Go block it.
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go. 5:07 on the clock. King set the kick. There's the snap. Stinson the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 5 minutes exactly to play here, and the Cougars strike first on a 25-yard field goal to make it 3-0 Grace. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
All right, back here at Harrington Stadium, Jeremy Hubbard, Chad Grubbs with you on NETSN, and the Cougars, crisis averted for the defense there, because the interception on the screen inside the red zone ends up being just a field goal, and this defense already off to a better start in the run game tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. they went back to the basics this week and just went back to what we've done forever, for not forever, but for a long time, ever since I was here.
Yeah, for the most part, same look, same strategy. As the Cougars now will kick off with exactly 5 minutes to play in the first quarter and a 3-0 lead. And King kick it off, and it'll go into the end zone again. Mettenon's going to let that one go. He actually kicked that one to the back line there. Should be another battle of kickers. We've seen some good ones this year.
And he's a freshman?
No,
junior.
No, he's a junior. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about the kickers we've seen this year. We have our own with Gavito. We've seen King. The kid from Regions last week was good. And then the kid from Legacy, Jack Drygas, who made national news 2 weeks ago, kicking a 64-yarder or whatever the heck he did.
Yeah, we got to witness that firsthand.
I can't hit my driver that far.
I'm played pretty well.
I don't want to talk to you if you're playing golf here recently. Still too hot for that. It's not supposed to be in October.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the guard. And they'll send a man in motion. That's Hanson. And the handoff goes to Hanson, and he is hit hard after a short gain of a yard maybe. Yeah, that's the risk on those.
Yep. But he's taught to get upfield as soon as he sees a crease, and he did, and he didn't see.
I think that's what they call a false read. Chad, you thought it was a crease. It was not.
It was not.
Yeah, good play there.
It went darkness quick.
2nd and 9 now for the guard. Clock at 4:50 and counting. I feel like there should have been more time off the clock by now, Chad. Maybe the clock didn't
I
start.
thought it was running fast.
Ryle looking to pass again. Good protection over the far side to Schluter, and incomplete at about the 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
That doesn't happen very often, that Cole drops something like that. I mean, they hit him right in the hands. And, right now I think we're just everybody's trying to do too much. Like we've talked about before, if we can just get a first down, everybody's able to relax, take a deep breath, and go. But it's getting a little tense.
Yeah, first off, it's a long game.
Yeah, no doubt.
4:35 on the clock. Sorry, that was a mouthful for some reason. 3rd down and 9. Ryle looking to pass again. Has plenty of protection. Now the pressure, and then goes on a crossing route there to, is that Hargett?
Yep.
No, it's Wisner. And Wisner gains another yard. And it's going to be 4th down and 8.
Hey, positive right now. Until the offense can get firing on all cylinders, the defense has shown that they're here and ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is going to be fine. That's never been a worry for me. I know that may be the thought after last week, but that's whatever. 4th and 8.
Over.
Yeah, good punt for Ryle, and it'll take a sideways bounce, and it'll be picked up there by Cody Clark with 3:49 to play in the first. The Cougars will have it 1st and 10 at their 24. Yeah, look, the defense just showed on 2 drives. The first drive, they get the big sack on 3rd down, and that's what you're looking for, right? Chad, what are you going to do on 3rd down? What do you do when they get in the red zone? You got a 3rd down stop, and you got a red zone, make them kick a field goal. That's a win in the red zone, right?
Absolutely.
This defense will be fine. And they're going to make another play here.
And our offense is going to be fine. They've just got to get that first down, and then just get in a rhythm. And that's just something we haven't been able to get into in the first couple of drives.
Just relax. It'll be fine. So Stanley out now with Alexander to his left. Stanley looking to pass deep down the field. That ball is short, and it was so short it couldn't be intercepted. I mean, that's a dangerous pass there by Stanley, because I thought Witten could have intercepted that thing, but the ball was too short. There's timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard. At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, let's still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums.
We're going all the way.
Your favorite athletes. Your teams.
Ford breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh.
Your passion.
All right, back here after the timeout, ready to start action again here. 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. And Stanley going to go on a keeper off the left side and hit hard at the line of scrimmage and brought down after a short gain. I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to be able to run the football, Chad.
Here's the deal. I don't know that they can throw the football. Stanley, we've seen a couple of throws by him already, and it's just not as accurate as what you would see, you know, with Etheridge. You know, he's an athlete. Yes, that's why they've got him back there. But if he was the quarterback, he would have already been in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. Okay,
take nothing away from him for being in there. You know, Cole's doing exactly what his coach has asked him to do.
That wasn't their plan. 3rd down and 9. Play action pass. Now screen over to Alexander. Tipped to look like at the line of scrimmage by LaCase Grandin. And it'll be 4th down and 9. And another stop for this defense on 3rd down.
You know, that's something that I can promise you Coach Collins talk to the guys this week and see how many yards we can hold them to this week.
Give yourself that chance. And listen, this is a week you don't have to get up for, right?
Absolutely. If you had to get fired up for this ball game, you don't need to be on the football team.
Yeah, I'm trying to control myself here. So 4th down and 9, and they'll punt it here. And it's Weisner back deep for the guard. That's another good kick. Takes a nice high bounce. And we'll take a Brook Hill roll back to about the 38. And that's dangerous there because Mettinen was dangerously close to that thing.
Almost got blocked into it.
So the guard will have it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Just got to come out, get that. I'm telling you, once we get that first down, we'll be settled in and we'll get in a rhythm. And that's just something we hadn't been able to do yet.
Nate Ryle checking in with us from Chicago, watching his brother's football team here tonight. His nephew Zach at quarterback. We got our folks checking in from Guatemala tonight. The Mendezabal family is watching as well. Thanks all of you watching here on NetSN tonight. What has been a fast-moving first quarter. 2:44 on the clock here in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Cougars lead. Our red zone possession ended up just being a field goal for the Cougars on their last possession. And Ryle here will hand off to LaPointe. And PA, now look, both defenses doing a great job against the run tonight. That's just a gain of 2 for PA.
I mean, both, like you said, and it's up front on both defenses. I mean, you're giving up 1 to 3 yards every play. That's pretty good.
A little tempo here for the guard, and Hansen got a little early start there, and it'll be a false start penalty. And then instead of 2nd and 8, now it'll be 2nd and 13. They're bottling up LaPointe, and I think that's the key to the offense, right, for Brook Hill. He's been a big part of it. 4 carries for 3 yards here early on.
Yeah, you know, that's our offense. You know, they're going to bottle up the run. You know, I think they're going to see if Zach can beat him with his arm. We've just got to be able to connect.
I don't think that's a smart play either. 2nd and 13, Ryle has time. Looks to pass. It's caught by Hargett, I believe, at the 39. Yeah, Hargett, a gain of 5, and it's back to 3rd and 8. Telling you, Hargett and Weisner and Witten.
The triplets.
I mean, could they just do something for us to let us know who it is? Could they, give us a different color sock or something? Yeah. 1:28 to play here in the first quarter. 3-0 Cougars lead, and it's 3rd and 8 for the guard. as Ryle takes the snap, rolls out, looking to pass, has time again. Down the field, looking for Schluter, just overthrew him. I mean, just missed. And it'll be 4th down and 8.
I mean, that's the ball right there. I mean, it just, like you said, it just out of reach of Cole, and you got to take that shot right there.
And I'll be honest, with the way Ryle was having to move around back there, a pretty good throw on the move.
Yeah.
Because he was actually moving the opposite direction of which way he threw it, because the pressure did come from that outside. And so 1:16 to play in the first, and the guard will punt again. It's Ryle with that's a good kick for Zach. At the 25, takes a nice sideways bounce, and Zach Hempel is going to pick it up down just outside the Cougar 20. So both teams just kind of playing back and forth here.
Yeah, it's just stalemate right now on offense. Both defenses are dominating the line of scrimmage, and just the turnover is the only blemish for Brook Hill right now.
I feel like both sides are just playing it safe on offense right now too, and some of that's the script, right? I mean, some of that is like, okay, we want to save it. And in this game especially, you know this, Chad, the second halves have been so different than the first halves in every game.
They're always crazy.
1st and 10 now for the Cougars. They hand off to Alexander. He goes right to gut that time. And I don't understand why he doesn't want to do that more often, because he picks up 6 yards.
I'm telling you, he puts his head down and just runs straight ahead. He's a load to bring down. His thighs are, Coach, they're big as my waist.
I mean, that's, we're not going to say much about that. I'm going to say this. I'm going to throw it way back and tell you a young man named Jerome Bettis or Christian Okoye, that's what he looks like. That's just his running style. But he likes to run it outside instead of up the gut.
Yeah.
2nd and 4 now, and the handoff goes to Alexander again off the right side, and Rouleau's going to bring him down after a gain of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1. And the guard have been good on 3rd down so far tonight, and they're going to have to do it again here.
There's short yardage on this 3rd down. We've had most 3rd downs tonight that we've had, it's been, 3rd and long. I think they're going to try to go right back up the middle with Alexander.
And the Cougars are going to take the quarter here as we're at 8 seconds and counting. And we're going to end the first quarter, and the score, the Grace Cougars 3, Brook Hill 0. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
When you talk about Brook Hill Athletics, you're talking about a program that gives you the whole package. At Brook Hill, we are very competitive athletically. In fact, we've won 14 state championships in the last 11 years. We have state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and with our new turf training field, we're once again proving our commitment to providing quality athletic venues. We have 20 coaches at Brook Hill who are full-time employees. What that means is they're here all day, every day, investing in the lives of your student athlete by mentoring, being advisors, and preparing them for college. These coaches will also form lifelong relationships with their players. Our coaches are not only committed to getting each athlete ready to go to college, they're also committed to getting these athletes ready to play at the next level. And now, by partnering with APEC, our athletes, male and female, are being trained by some of the best coaches in the world. I've been involved in athletics for a long time, and I know what a winner looks like. If you want to win on the field and off, then you need to consider becoming a student at Brook Hill.
All right, back here as we are ready to start the second quarter of action. The Cougars on 3rd and 1 will get Alexander.
He got it.
Yeah, he's barely going to get it. It was very close.
If he we had the defense called set up perfect. He just bounced it outside a little bit and picked up just enough. I thought we had him for a loss.
So the first play of the second quarter.
L. Hetch checking in, giving Alexander a breather. Kid's a good pole vaulter.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
You know a little something about good pole vaulters here. 11:32 and counting. 1st down and 10. The handoff, fake handoff. And the pass is tipped away and incomplete as Stanley was trying to get at that time to number 5 there, which is Elijah Hicks. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And I think he was actually trying to get that to Gardner, number 33, the tight end, H-back, out in the flats, and just went right through his hands, and was close to being number where Hicks could catch it. I think he tried to get that check down.
So 2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. Trip receiver. We haven't seen the trip look for him here. 4 receivers total, and they're going to fake the pitch, and it's batted away by Lacassie Grandin, and we almost saw a pick 6 going the other way.
If he pitches it right there, Greg's gone.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he almost took it out of his hands.
My eyes maybe deceived me. I thought Lacassie Grandin actually tipped it. He tried to pitch it, I thought, and he tipped it. And you're talking, if that's the case, you're talking about a great bounce.
Yeah, absolutely right back
to the Cougars. 10:56 and counting. 3rd down and 11 for the Cougars. Offensive coordinator Tyler Fleet in his first year leading the offense for the Cougars. I want to thank all of you watching tonight here on NETSN. Right around 100 of you watching right now. We need more than that. This is a big game, Chad.
Yeah,
only 100.
They must be here.
Well, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field. We're going to take the timeout with them. We'll be back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Back here at Harrington Stadium on the campus of the Brook Hill School, the beautiful campus of the Brook Hill School. And it is a 3rd and 11 for the Cougars, and they call their first timeout with 10:38 to play here in the first half. Yeah, Nate Rowell confirmed it in the chat. He did pitch. The ball was pitched, and Lacassie Grandin tipped it right back to him. That's a bad break for our defense, but a lucky break for the Cougars. The game is 7-3 if that happens.
Yeah.
3rd down and 11. Stanley looked like the same pass again. Now they're going to go to the far sideline. They were going to try the hitch and pitch right there to Alexander.
Hitch and pitch it, yep.
And they can't do it. And listen, golly. And you call the timeout like we know something like that's coming, right?
Yeah.
And they did a great job of covering that up. It's 4th down and 11, and the defense holds again. And that's the name of the game, right? Especially at the high school level where your kids are playing both ways, right? Like defensively, just do enough to make sure until the offense does get it going that we're in the game still.
Weather the storm, and you're going to be all right.
So
but you can't let that weather get on you quick.
No, you got to,
like last week.
Yeah, 10:32 to play in the first half. 4th and 11, the Cougars. That's his worst punt of the night and still a pretty good one. Ball bounces at the 40, and Wisner picks it up, moves across the 40, and brought it down to 41. Not a bad return there for Drew.
Yeah, I think Wisner kind of deked him right there. He was telling everybody out of the way, and it bounced. He picked it up and got about 6 more, so good start.
This is the drive, Chad. This is the one.
Best field position that we've started in all night, and we got to get it clicking.
This is going to be.
This
is going to be the drive. 1st and 10. 10:19 to play in the first half. Rowell has LaPointe to his right. Schluter, the tight end. Rowell sends a man in motion. That's Hansen. They're going to fake the handoff to Hansen, and Rowell's going to keep it back to the line of scrimmage.
And they blocking to the whistle, I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, it's getting a little bit of that time here.
Everybody's getting a little chippy. As they used to say, giving him the business.
Got a story about that later. I know you're going to be shocked, but coaching middle school football, you get all kind of stories.
We get some stories,
like
don't we?
2nd and 10. 9:45 and counting in the first half. Rowell looking to pass. Pump fake. There's the pressure up the middle, and he's going to be sacked. And that time it was Andrew Gardner, the junior.
Now he's a very good ball player right there.
Yeah, we saw him a minute ago on the offensive side, and now on the defensive side, he will sack Rowell for a 7-yard loss.
Andrew Gardner on the sack of Zach Ryle makes it 3rd down at about 19.
So it's a loss of 7.
I mean, you got to do something right here to slow their defense down. You know, we thought.
Well, you're scared now,
yeah,
right?
After they picked the screen, but man, they have got their ears pinned back and they are coming.
Yeah, that's the scary
part.
But
that's the thing about Castle's defense. That's what they're going to do.
Under 9 minutes to play in the half. Hansen goes in motion. Zone coverage. Rowell goes over to Body. And Body now across the 40. Welcome back, breaks Body. He's up to the 45.
Bring up 4th and 5.
Be a gain of 12 on the pass to Breck's Body.
Ryle's pass complete to number 7, Breck's Body.
Good to have Breck's back in the lineup.
Absolutely. You know, he hated missing those first couple of weeks for sure, and he's glad to be back out.
But this is the stretch, right? This is the one.
Yeah. This is where
this Grace Hyde Park, Grace Prep stretch is a very important one.
Yeah.
4th down and 5 at the 45. Rowell will punt now. 8-14.
Nobody deep.
And the Cougars weren't thinking he was actually going to kick it. And maybe I'm crazy. Didn't that ball
went out at the 30?
Yeah,
and they're bounced back in.
Yeah, this is okay. We'll go. Listen, I'm not saying a word, Chad. I'm not saying anything. 8:04. Yeah, I will. 8:04 to play in the first half, and this defense now once again, and the field position. Here's been the difference. I was talking to Coach Copeland today about this, actually, about last week, and really the issue became that the field position battle was just so far against Brook Hill that you really couldn't recover.
Yeah,
and tonight it has not been the case. The field position battle has been much more even.
Right.
And you got a shot here.
You just get in a situation where you just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
And that's where we were last week.
So 1st and 10, the handoff to Alexander again, hit it at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a loss. Should be a loss on the play. He never got it back to the 20. Okay, I said I wasn't saying anything. There we go. He never got back to 25. Now the far side says it's a loss of a yard. It should be. No, that's a terrible spot. That's actually a terrible spot.
Probably should have been another.
There we go.
There we go. There, he moved it right.
Sorry, guys. You're trying hard. I know.
They just won't listen to us, will they?
No, they do not. Like me. Mark Antoine Tremblay watching tonight from Quebec, Canada. Watching Greg. I hope you saw Greg's play earlier. It was a very impressive play. 2nd and 11. Stanley, screen pass, and incomplete. He was trying to get that time to Justice McQuay. And they were checking to see what we were going to do there, right?
Because
they were about to send the other guy down the sideline.
They're going to.
They're going to go back to that
because
double
they've
pass.
seen it get us.
Need to make sure we talk about that. And I see Coach Jordan talking over to Nico and Casper right now. 7:23 to play in the first half, 3-0 to score. Remember, at halftime, we're going to provide for you the video of the Parade of Nations. So if you're a boarding parent and you're watching, you get to see all that action tonight as well. We're going to talk to Sean Rhodes.
Man, that's one of my favorite times of the year.
I actually have my phone charged so I can get a picture. I love getting a picture of that every year. I haven't got to see it very much in person. It's been my first time in a while. Stanley's pass almost intercepted by Sarah Javi. Incomplete. Be 4th and 11. And this defense, you know what? I'm just going to tell you, if you had a bad thing to say about the defense after last week, where are you at right now? Because they've done the job tonight.
They've done exactly what they. Hey, and it may take the defense with the score to get the offense going. you know, sometimes you see that.
We've been there before.
Yes, absolutely.
We've done it before. So 4th and 11, and it honestly may be one of those type of games. It could be because both these defenses are doing a great job so far here tonight. But don't let last week fool you about what we think this defense is. Punt, and look, Grondin almost blocked it.
He might have got it a little bit of it.
He could have tipped it, and it's going to go out of bounds just across midfield.
Well, Greg's having a great game so far.
He is so fast.
I love it.
He is so fast off that corner and almost blocks it with 7:07 to play here in the first half. 3-0 Cougars lead. And the offense now with good field position at the 45. And how in the world is it at the 45?
No, because it went out at the 50.
We'll go with it. 1st and 10.
Hey, if me or you are on the sideline right now, that's not happening. Because I promise you, I'm letting them know where it went out at.
Yeah.
Scott would say, "Get back," right?
Yeah. Well, more like "shut up." But
we've heard
he
it.
said it to me before.
Yes,
1st and 10. Hansen goes in that orbit motion. They're going to hand off to LaPointe out the left side. There goes PA up the middle across midfield.
And he's
across
still
the
going.
45.
There we
down
go.
to the 42-yard line.
There's the first down. Now let's tempo it. Here we go.
And a gain of 13 for PA. Don't let him get started.
Please let him.
Yeah, for us, I'm talking to them. If you let him get started, you're in trouble. There's a screen pass over to Hansen, and Hansen breaks away from a tackle. He's got room on the outside at the 40, down to the 35. Where does he step out of bounds? And a late hit.
Late hit out of bounds. That wasn't much, but hey, you can't touch him out of bounds.
So it's a gain of 8 to Hansen.
It could have been a loss of about 7.
Yeah.
And great job by Hansen right there.
And so the ball down to the 34-yard line. And that means we're outside the 30. You're going to add 15 to it. If it's a late hit, it'll be at the 19, right?
Should. It's a key word. We've seen stranger things, brother. Have we not?
Yeah, we are moving. It should be the 19. There we go. Yep. So, and just where we're at on the field plays a big part in that too, right? Because if you get that ball down inside the 30, you don't get as many yards out of it.
Right.
Now we're at the 19, and a red zone drive now here for the offense.
Got to capitalize right here. You want a touchdown.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. 6:40 to play in the first half. Cougars lead 3-0. Rowell now with 2 backs in the backfield. That's Witten to his right, LaPointe to his left. Handoff to LaPointe off the left side. PA at the 10. PA down to the 5. Spin move. Touchdown. Let's see. Give it to him. We're waiting on the signal.
It doesn't look like he's going to give it, but it's sure like he got in. He's going to put him at the 1, inside the 1. Man, what a run by PA right there. I thought they tried to sling him down, and he just stayed right on his feet and kept going.
18 yards on the rush for LaPointe.
Now go get in.
Inside the Cougar 1-yard line.
And we've seen that 6 offensive lineman look for the guard.
We may see more of it.
I think we're seeing it right now, actually. Ryle with PA behind him. And that pistol look. They give it to PA. Left side. Touchdown, PA.
Just ran right through that. Student section's going crazy. Hey, now you're in a rhythm. You were able to do what you're supposed to do right there. And now you can take a deep breath and play the type of football that you know how to play.
5:50 to play in the half. And it's LaPointe with a 1-yard touchdown run. And the guard now in that gate formation. Here's the thing. Grace has seen that enough. They've seen that gate formation over the years. So I'm interested to see as we go along what kind of tricks.
I will tell you, if Phil has anything to do with lining up to that gate, we ran it every week.
He'll know all those things.
He knows all the tricks.
Gavito's point after attempt is good, and the guard take a 7-3 lead. 5:58 to play in the first half. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
We are back here at Harrington Stadium where the guard have answered back. We got that. Now the jitters are gone, Chad. You
Absolutely.
mentioned that. P.A. LaPointe with a 1-yard touchdown run. He's up to 7 carries, 35 yards now on the game. And the guard now, you're not breathing easy, but you're breathing easier.
You're breathing easier. And, hey, the viewing has gone up. I think that might have helped. You know, there is a ton of people. I mean, the grass is covered on both sides of the field, and there's people still coming in. There's cars still driving up. I mean, this is a great atmosphere. in Bullard, Texas tonight.
I think we had to shuttle people in from parking so far away. Luckily, we were here early. We need to learn some French for our Canadian friends here, Chad.
Yeah.
I don't think it would sound right coming from you and I, but maybe we should try. I don't know. But LaPointe with another TD. I got to come up with a good touchdown call in French for PA.
For him.
Kickoff will be returned. It's McQuay off the right side, and it's a good return up to about the 23, and we got a flag come in. And let's see who that's going to be against. It was Roselle for us, and Andrew Gardner tied up at about the 40, and the flag came in.
If it's going to be anything, you would think it'd be offsetting, but
yeah,
we shall see.
They're talking about it here.
They're looking at Grace, see what they want to do.
Yeah, it's a hold against Grace, yeah.
Nice. Backs them on up.
So the field position battle continues to go in the favor of the guard here in this one.
You know, we've talked about, you know, they just keep running the football, but I think that's all they really can do, because when you don't have Slade back there who can, I mean, as a freshman, he can spin it. And that's just that's something in their arsenal that they don't have. And you know, Cole's trying to do the best he can.
So 1st and 10 from the 12. Stanley's going to run it himself off the left side, break a couple of tackles. Brought down finally is Mettinen, and I believe that is Sarahavi in there on the stop.
And that's what Cole can do. He can run. I mean, he's got some moves, and he's fast. So look for more quarterback runs, and especially he's the one that can get outside and go.
He almost did there, just off that left tackle. 7 yards on the carry, 2nd down and 3. 5:21 and counting here in this first half. We'll have the Parade of Nations for you at halftime, so stay tuned for that. Stanley, a handoff to Alexander, up to Gut, breaks one tackle, and he can't get away from Lakasi Grandin, who's having a great night. And he's up to the 20 after a gain of a yard, 3rd down and 2.
Great job by the defense right there. See if we can bow it up and get another big stop. Putting in Luke Scott.
Yeah, and I love the fact they're rotating some guys in there. Also, number 65 in there. That's Marcelo Rochea is in there getting in the rotation tonight for the guard. So just having some more big bodies to throw in. 3rd down and 2. Play clock down to about 10 here, and the Cougars are going to have to snap this one pretty quick. Stanley, fakes handoff to Alexander. Looking to pass. Here comes the pressure from Merlot. Pass outside, incomplete. And that's good coverage there. That's Nico Mettinen in coverage against Elijah Hicks.
Well, they've been going after Nico, and he's stepped up and made some good plays tonight.
So 4th down and 2 now for the Cougars, and you got to kick this one. It's back at your own 20.
Hey, let's see if Greg can go after it and get a paw on it this time and knock it down and pick it up, scoop and score. Be nice. Games like this, it's special teams mess ups, that you can see.
And Brook Hill's got the speed on the edge out there. I'm looking, they got Body and Hall on one side, and they got Greg on the other side. They got some guys to go after it here as Stanley stands back to punt.
Looks like they're going.
And it's a delay game.
Right here, this is one you probably won't go after because you're going to get good field position, But when they start getting pinned up close to the goal line.
They've been so close.
I
think that with Greg on the far side, and he's moved, now they're switching him over. They put Body over the far side now, and they've got Greg on the near side to us. I think they like that matchup there. There he goes. They're going to get the kick away. It is not a good kick. It's going to bounce at midfield back towards the Brook Hill side, picked up at the 49, and we'll start in Cougar territory with 4:17 to play in the first half. Okay, now go get another one.
Absolutely.
And then you get the ball first to start the second half.
Yeah, you got to capitalize right here. You were able to settle in that last drive, go down and score. Now let's do it again.
4:17 to play. 7-3 guard lead. It started off a little shaky again, but it's kind of been, unfortunately, the trend as we've gone throughout the year. With the first couple of drives, you're like, okay, just hold on. And then they settled in much earlier tonight.
Breathe a little easier up here when they finally start hitting on all cylinders.
1st and 10 at the Cougar 49. 4:17 to play in the half. Ryle has two guys with him in the backfield. That's Witten and LaPointe. LaPointe down the seam, caught at the 25. Makes a move at the 20.
Yeah,
15, 10. Touchdown, PA.
Back out. They didn't stay. The backer didn't stay with him, and PA got loose. It ended up having a safety. There's three guys out there, and the safety in the corner took the inside and outside, and PA snuck right up the middle between them.
Less than 2 minutes since his last touchdown. It's a Ryle to LaPointe, 49-yard touchdown pass. And the Guard now extend that lead. They'll shift over and kick the extra point. We saw it last week, the touchdown pass against Regents to LaPointe down the seam, and they got him again. Maybe they stopped watching the film, but they should have seen that one. They should have known that one was coming. The snap, the hold, the kick from Gavito is up, and the kick from Gavito is good, and it's 14-3. Grace lead, or Brook Hill leads Grace. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Brook Hill is more than a school.
I am more than a teacher.
We're more than a classroom.
This is more than a performance.
That is more than a scoreboard.
At Brook Hill, you are more than a student. Brook Hill provides a Christ-centered education that more than prepares students for college. It prepares them for life. Brook Hill is a place to grow, a place to belong, a place to thrive. Are you ready for more?
Back here at Harrington Stadium, and the Guard on top, 14-3 now. And nothing can get this crowd going. You talk about a big crowd, Parade of Nations, all this kind of stuff. I'm looking down there by the concession stand, Chad. There are so many people here. This rivals a homecoming crowd, and you kind of knew that it would.
Yeah, you know, we talk about sometimes one of our biggest crowds at home is Warrior Bowl, and but when you get Grace at home, it's a big one.
And partner with Parade of Nations. The kick here from Gavito. That joker's going to the back of the end zone as well. And the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
It's always a weapon when you got a kicker that can put it in the end zone, and it's always a start at the 25.
So we've seen big-time plays in the running game tonight. Ryle, 5 of 7 in the ball game for 75 yards and a touchdown. He's settled in, being very efficient, being a part of the run game as well. This is an offense now that is playing what I would argue is the best we've seen them play all year.
Yeah, I mean, now we just got to keep it rolling. You know, you don't want to do anything to go backwards. You want to keep going forward.
4:06 to play in the half. Cougars have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. So here we go now. Stanley will take it and run himself. You don't see Alexander in there. And Stanley hit hard on the sideline. Let's see who that was that got him. That was Casper Hansen and number 20, Edward Park, number 50, Eli Hall in there. So he'll gain about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
He's hurt.
And that is not ideal for them if he can't get back up. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Okay, we are back here at Harrington Stadium as the Brook Hill Guard lead the Grace Community Cougars 14-3. And Cole Stanley is getting helped off the field over there for the Cougars. And we'll see who the next guy is for the Cougars. Looks like it's going to be number 11, Dylan Stinson. He's one over there getting loose on the sideline, throwing the football around. Actually, it's not going to be Stinson. Let's see who it's going to be.
It'll be L. Hetch.
Yeah, it looks like, 25, L. Heck. And so quarterback number 3 for the Cougars, and you wonder now how much it limits their playbook at this point. What has he worked?
This is going to be more like,
actually,
it's
Alexander in there. Okay, well, this is big quarterback. Alexander's going to pull it down and run it himself. And Hanson with the big hit on Alexander. And it's going to be maybe no gain.
It's almost like they're having to go Wildcat right here now.
Well,
and how long do they have to do it?
Well, listen, think back to last week.
Now here comes
last
11.
year. Yeah,
here comes Stinson now. Just didn't have time to get him loose.
What you have to think about, Chad, remember last year in the Brook Hill Frisco Legacy game, we lost our quarterbacks and we had to go Wildcat until halftime because we couldn't play the JV quarterback until the second half.
Because of our 6-quarter rule.
You could be in the same situation here for Grace. So I don't know who the JV quarterback is for Grace, but it could be the situation to where for the next 3 minutes and 43 seconds for them,
they're going to go Wildcat.
They're going to have to go Wildcat. And we've seen some big quarterbacks. Alexander is the biggest quarterback we've seen, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's little Byron Leftwich, Jared Lorenzen.
Back in his Marshall days.
Golly.
Man.
Hey, while we have time on the field, I do want to mention this. Chad, you may not even know this. Maybe your wife told you, but today Brook Hill and Coach Don English, who is our Director of Staff, Culture, and things like that, presented the first ever Jan Hommel Employee of the Month Award, a new award to honor a faculty member each month in honor of Jan Hommel, who's been here since before the beginning. And that first award went to Coach Dalton Smith today, by the way.
Awesome.
And Dalton, of course, our Director of Transportation, but also coaches middle school football, middle school baseball, varsity baseball. And so I want to make sure and recognize Dalton for that tonight.
Great.
So 3rd and 8 now. The Cougars with 3:43 to play in the first half. And it is Stinson in there, quarterback now. He rolls out to the far side. Pass is going to be incomplete. Knocked away as he was trying. And now we're going to see a late flag. He was trying to get it there to Doak Porter. The pass was incomplete, but a flag comes in late.
I'm not sure what we had a guy that dove on the football, but I don't know if he thought he hit one of their guys or not.
Well, judging by our coach's reactions, it's going to be one of our guys.
Dead ball.
Yeah, that's an illegal shift for penalty. He just signaled, and it's going to be against the defense. I mean, that's a 15-yarder. They're moving it, but okay.
Can't have an illegal shift on the defense.
I said I wasn't going to say anything, but we just got a 15-yard illegal shift penalty against the defense. I don't even know how that works, but whatever.
Man.
So 1st down and 10 for the Cougars at their own 43. And it's Stinson in there at quarterback still. They shift Alexander out. Stinson just going to run it. And LaCasa Grandin from the backside after a gain of 1. And Greg, I'm telling you, you're talking about having a great night. It's been Greg tonight.
Yeah, to catch somebody, I mean, Stinson's not real fast, but to come off the end and catch him backside for a gain of 1, it's a great play.
And that's kind of the thing as we've gone through is the Cougars are going to go with a little tempo here. 3:11 and counting in the first half, 2nd down and 9. Stinson, there he comes. Greg again. He hits him just as he throws it. The ball's floating incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down and 9. But the thing about Greg, Chad, you know this defense is so different. It's not just a pin your ears back and go sack the quarterback. And I think early on that was the struggle for him, playing flat down the line. And now he's doing it, and you're seeing him have a big night tonight.
And another thing about this defense is always somebody coming.
Yeah, and you never know where.
And you don't know which side he's coming from.
So it's fun when you start to see guys when our defense clicks, you have a hard time moving the football against us.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 9. They got that stacked receiver set. Watch the far side, see if they do something funky here. Stinson, slant pass, incomplete. Good coverage there by Blake Witten. He was trying to get it once again to Doak Porter. It'll be 4th down and 9, 2:57 to play in the first half.
Fixing to punt.
You're getting in the danger spot, though, Chad, where they're in the field position and they're down by 11. You got to make sure you're covering all your fakes. Now, the problem is all your guys who can throw the football are on the sideline.
Right. Yeah.
So that plays into our hands a little bit here. 2:57 to play.
You just don't think he's going to run it either. I mean, but he's 9 yards.
I tell you what, if he runs for it on 4th and 9, and he's 11 yards back further, we got some other things to talk about. And the punt will be fielded by Wisner at the 15. And here comes Drew at the 20. Drew at the 25. Tries to cut back inside, and he stepped out of bounds. And Wisner will have it first, or the guard will have it 1st and 10 after the Wisner return at the 20. Let's see where they spot it. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Golly, just get back to your sideline.
I love it. It's so much fun. I'm fired up here.
I'm a little jealous. 1st and 10 at the 30.
Normally we'd be right there in the middle of it, wouldn't we?
Probably better I'm not. Probably better I'm not, Chad. 1st and 10 at the 29 for the guard. 2:50 to play in the half. An 11-point lead. The guard do get the ball first to start the second half. So you can add one on here and you get that 2 for 1 to go up maybe 4 scores.
It'd be huge. Got too many men on the field.
No, they got not too many, but
they did. They ran one off.
Oh, we didn't have our football.
Yeah, but they ran one off late. Or early, I guess, now because the ball's not set.
Yeah, I guess you're fine now. The referee's still having a hard time getting in there. 1st and 10 at the 29. Rowell has Witten and LaPointe in the backfield with him. Now they're going to move Schluter off, and he's going to shift over to the other side. Hand off to PA. PA up the middle, makes another move. Come on, PA. Across the 40. Still fighting for the 41-yard line.
God, he's so fun to watch.
A gain of 12 for
like
PA.
Like we've talked in the past, he is a kid, you just look at him, you think, one hit and he's going to be down. No, sir. He's going to keep going.
I've said it, and I love watching the kid play. He's one of the most unassuming guys. When you just see him in street clothes, you're like, that dude can't be the running back, and here he is.
But he is, yeah.
1st and 10 at the 42. Yeah, of all the guys on this sideline, he's the one I'm looking at in street clothes thinking, okay, yeah, give him the ball. Yeah, we'll keep giving it to him. 1st and 10, 2:20 and counting. Give it to, they're going to fake the handoff, pitch it to Witten, and Witten up to about the 43-yard line. He may gain a couple here. Let's see. One guy says no gain. The other guy says 2. Somebody's eyes are wrong somewhere. Split the difference. Give him a yard. Let's see. We're still not doing anything. We're going to tell Schluter to come off the field. They do give him a yard on the play. So Witten picks up a yard. Now what are we doing here? We're going
to 2-minute warning.
Oh, we forgot about the old 2-minute warning at 1:59. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
We'll come back on.
When you talk about Brook Hill Athletics, you're talking about a program that gives you the whole package. At Brook Hill, we are very competitive athletically. In fact, we've won 14 state championships in the last 11 years. We have state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and with our new turf training field, we're once again proving our commitment to providing quality athletic venues. We have 20 coaches at Brook Hill who are full-time employees. What that means is they're here all day, every day, investing in the lives of your student athlete by mentoring, being advisors, and preparing them for college. These coaches will also form lifelong relationships with their players. Our coaches are not only committed to getting each athlete ready to go to college, they're
all right, back here at Harrington Stadium, and Chad, at some point tonight, I'm going to get our commercials timed up with the timeouts because I've failed so much. And once again, they put another second back on the clock. You're not supposed to do that if you go over 2 minutes, but whatever. Ryle on 2nd and 9, looking to pass. Has a man on the sideline caught, Grayson Roselle. And it's a gain of 8 on the play to Grayson Roselle.
Stops the clock.
Chad, we are joined now, and I mentioned we were going to have him at the half, but, hey, look, I want to talk to him long enough. We're going to make sure that we get him for long enough.
He's got a pretty important job at halftime.
It's a pretty important job we're excited about, too, but assistant head of school over boarding, Sean Rhodes. Sean, how are you tonight?
Hey, good to be with you guys.
So you get to kind of be a part of this. Hopefully you're going to be a part of a touchdown, and if you are, by the way, you got to come back. You got to stay if that happens. 3rd down and 2 here, and Ryle will hand off to – he's going to fake it. Kept it again. He's got the 1st down. A gain of 4 on the play for Ryle. And look at the linemen. They are still blocking. 20 yards down the field. Now we get a flag comes in at the end. This is
Luke Scott loses his helmet.
Yeah, this is not going to go well. I think for us it may be against us here, the one in the middle. We'll see. But here with Sean, we're waiting on a penalty. And Sean, one of the best nights of the year in our opinion, Chad and I were talking about this in the pregame, Parade of Nations is one of the coolest things we get to be a part of, and seeing all these kids and their flags. But talk a little bit about how long this has been going on and what this night means to you over the boarding program.
Well, thank you. First of all, I gotta give you guys a shout out because y'all I listen to y'all on your away games, and I tell you guys could go pro. So thank you, seriously, thank you for leading the games, letting us know what's going on back home when we're away.
We'll give you some money when you leave.
Yeah.
No, but it's been going on. This is the 13th year, so it's one of the biggest nights of the year for the school, for the boarding program, obviously. And it's one of my proudest moments because I get to honor those kids, and their parents get to hear it from all over the world now. And some of them have even come in all the way from Canada for tonight. So it just makes it all the more special.
And we mentioned in the live stream, a lot of our parents are still watching. They're going to get to watch the Parade of Nations on the live stream tonight. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Guard back at their own 39. 1st and 10. And he motioned, Chad, that there were penalties against both teams, but
if there's penalties against both teams,
yeah,
it's called offsetting.
The way it was.
Right.
Let's see. That's.
And they.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what they're talking to. Are they talking about the clock? What are we doing? Okay. 1st and 10 now. 1:49. They're telling they're going to start it on the whistle. They started the clock as soon as the referee blew it. 1:45 and counting. Ryle looking to pass. Has time.
Schluter.
Over the middle for Schluter. And it's caught at the 37, at the 30, at 20. Break the tackle, Cole. Inside the 15.
Great job.
Down to the 11.
It's one of those that we've had all week or all year. You know, we run that tight end right up the middle. He posted that one. He ran a post on it, and Zach hit him right in stride.
A gain of 58 on the pass play to Schluter.
1:30 and counting.
And it's 1st and 10 at the 11.
Brook Hill's got 2 timeouts.
Clock running at 1:24. And you don't have to be in a big hurry here because you do
No.
got those 2 timeouts.
But you want to punch it in right here.
Yeah, well, I'm giving it to 24 again. If he scores again at halftime, I'm learning something in French, Chad. I'm just telling you. The touchdown call will be in French next time. Nothing like being judged and a time on the field by Brook Hill. So we'll keep it here and talk to Sean. But Sean, this year 37 different countries, correct?
37.
With our students.
If you count the dual citizenship, so that's what gets us up to 37. Yeah. And if you count the day students who are from other countries as well, it brings us up to 38.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
How many new countries this year?
Good question. So we have Curacao, which is one of the Caribbean islands. We have Hungary, which is a surprising country because you would have thought that we would have had Hungary before now. Singapore showed up. We hadn't had Singapore in a long time, so they're back. It feels new, but we've had Singapore before. So we've got about 5 new countries this year that we're super proud to have. Gets us up to over 70 countries total that have studied at Brook Hill.
And, you know, I tell people all the time, that's the thing that's neat for my kids, to get to go to school at Brook Hill and to be around other students from all over the world.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing else like it, not even close.
And it's fun to see the relationships that they build with each other.
Absolutely.
Right?
And families. I mean, you got the boarding buddy program. We've had kids come home and go to Christmas with us. It's a blast.
Ryle on 1st and 10, 11, looking to pass. He has Schluter, and it's incomplete down at the 5. And it was drawn up right. It was there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. But, you know, you're right, Sean. And now over the last few years especially, I think our boarding kids have in the past have come over and wanted to try new things. They've been a part of things like athletics and fine arts. But now you have kids who are like, hey, Brook Hill's a place for me to go and be an athlete and be a performer. And that's been cool, I know, to see as well.
Yeah, we've seen kids go D1, D2, D3. It's been phenomenal to watch them go.
So Ryle here on 2nd and 10. Looking to pass again. Into the corner for Schluter. Caught it!
Touchdown!
Touchdown!
Let's go.
Huge.
55 seconds to play in the first half, and Brook Hill extends that lead to 20-3.
That's what you wanted. Getting ready to go into halftime.
Yes, sir.
And it's Ryle's 2nd touchdown pass of the night. Sluter now with 2 catches and a touchdown. And Gavito will get a chance to kick this point after, unless we see something we like here on the 2-point, and they'll shift over. It'll be Javi to kick. And so now if that defense holds on, Chad, they're going to get a chance to double up there at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And the snap, the hold, Gavito's kick is up. And it is good. And the guard lead 21-3. We'll stay here and talk to Sean some more. But, Sean, this is obviously one of those nights where I think, other than International Night, I think this is one of the nights the kids are most proud of, because they get to show off a little bit of, maybe they don't get to do the food part and the performing part, but they get to represent their country with their flag in the middle of the field.
That's right. And one of the most beautiful scenes is when you look out there at the middle of the field, and you got all those flags flying on tonight, like when there's a little breeze going and they're caught up in the wind. There's nothing prettier than that in my estimation. It always brings tears to my eyes. Because, like I said, this is the place where you get the Great Commission upside down.
Yeah.
You get the world that comes to this little town in Bullard. Like nobody would have scripted that except for the Lord. So it's just good to be a part of it.
There are a few things I do want to talk about boarding. You mentioned the fact that they get to hear about God, not just in school, but in different things in the boarding program. I know you guys started Sunday Night Lights, I think. Is that what you call it still?
Sunday Night Live, yeah.
I got to be a part of that last year, and it's something where just once a month there is a service where I know they can still go to different churches during the week, most of those weeks, but on Sunday nights, once a month, I believe is what it is?
It's every week.
Oh, it's every week now.
Yep.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the boarding community getting to do that together, and you have day kids that even come, and teachers and come be a part of that. It's an awesome time, and as really I think as I've talked to different boarding students who have been a part of that, it's been a huge piece of them understanding who God is and kind of finding themselves in that as Gavito's kick goes out of bounds again. Talk a little bit about that program. I know that's you guys are always trying to find a way to make them feel comfortable there instead of going maybe to an American church that's different for them.
Right. We've crafted that service exclusively for them. It's especially for them, and we've designed the messages, we've designed the program, we've designed it all around them so that they can get another expression of the gospel, just another way for them to experience the love of God, which they get that in so many ways at Brook Hill. They get it through families like the Grubbs, like you guys who have hosted kids over and over and over. That's such a fundamental way for them to experience the gospel. But yeah, we have chapel, obviously. They have Bible classes. Some of these guys, they come here and they don't have any idea what Christianity is all about.
Yeah.
We get a chance to share that with them.
First down here for the Cougars with 55 seconds to play in the half. And it'll be interesting, Chad, to see what they do at the quarterback spot here. They heck out in the flat. Now they're going to pass over quickly to Porter, and Porter makes a move. He's at the 35, at the 40, makes another move. He's at midfield. And Lacasse Grandin, there goes Greg, continuing his night. He's going to chase him down inside the 25. But great job by Greg from the backside
don't stop.
pursuit.
Thank goodness he doesn't stop, because he was our only chance, and he made it happen.
So the scoreboard says Grace has 2 timeouts left. I believe that's correct. 43 seconds on the clock in the first half. And look, the defense has had the Cougars have been in the red zone already tonight, and the guard defense able to hold and keep them out of the end zone. Another chance to do that here. 1st and 10 at the 21. Stinson. Pump fakes. Now he's going to have to pull it down and run. Good defense there. They were trying to go back to Porter. I think they were going to set the double pass, Chad.
Yeah.
They're trying to do something there to get the ball out there.
Call timeout.
So timeout. I do want to ask you this, Sean, because I think as people are at Brook Hill and they're involved and their students and their families, they know, but maybe people on the outside watching, talk a little bit about the life of a boarding student, because you guys find all kind of creative things for them to do on the weekends and during the week to where they get to experience not just Brook Hill in the school, but just part of the American culture.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So part of the Brook Hill boarding tuition includes all entertainment, and so that can be anything from a Friday night like tonight, where we have the kids out here in the stands, on the field, on the sidelines, on the drum line, cheer squad, but it also could be local. We go to the movies, we go rock climbing, we'll go go-karting, and then also in Dallas we'll even go and we'll watch a Mavs game or a Stars game. We'll go see FC Dallas soccer, go to a Rangers game. So we really treat them right. I wish my kids had as much entertainment when they were in high school as these boarding kids do. So we give them a good time.
It's funny to me how many boarding students walk around in Stars shirts. They're all Stars fans now. Now, honestly, though, we have so many Swedish and Finnish guys now that the Stars have kind of played into our hands a little bit.
And if every starter for the playoff Stars this year were from Finland.
Yep.
I know the guys love that. Back after the timeout, 32 seconds to play. 2nd down and 6 here for the Cougars. Empty backfield. Now they're going to bring McQuay in motion. A little Canadian action there. They're going to pass to McQuay. Incomplete. I thought we were going to pick it off.
I did too. They're calling for a flag, but we're trying to go for the football.
Ooh, that was a dangerous throw because right there in the middle, you saw Yona there. You also saw, I think that's Brett, or is that Cody's back in there? Cody Clark in there, number 2. That could have been very dangerous for the Cougars there. We wouldn't have minded. 28 seconds to play in the half. 3rd down and 6 from the 18. Alexander's in the backfield with Stinson. Stinson, he's going to keep himself. A little read play there and hit and drop by Sidney. And they're still going at it down there. A short gain. It's going to be 4th down and about 3 for the Cougars. And a timeout on the field taken by the Cougars. Well, Sean, you mentioned the fact this is one of the biggest nights they have. You mentioned some families here.
Yeah.
How many, and I think I know the answer, but I don't know completely, how many new boarding students do we have this year? Because I know the percentage is pretty high, right?
Yeah, it's funny. We have a big turnover every year because we usually have a pretty good-sized senior class. And then a lot of our Spanish kids are, they're a one and done is what I call them, because they come for 1 year, but then because of their college structure, they have to go back their junior year if they're going to get that free Spanish education at the college level. So we always turn over almost half, if you can believe it or not. We almost turn over half of our boarding population every year, and this year was no exception. We had about 55 kids that we brought in brand new.
So fun because a lot of new this year just on the day side and the boarding side with the number of students, and so it's been good to kind of, it hasn't been just new boarding students, it's been just a ton of new students.
Right. Yeah, we're now over 920 kids this year, which is amazing. That's phenomenal.
So King is going to come in to attempt a field goal here. It'll be a 31-yard field goal with 17 seconds left to play in the half. He's got the leg for it, but I'd be looking for number 8 if I was Grace. I would find Greg right here, because here he comes off this near side. There he goes, and they're going to run the fake. Alexander has it. They're going to have the 1st down. Oh, my goodness, and he is brought down there. Hayden Watson tackles him at about the 5-yard line. That's a interesting fake.
I mean, I thought they were going to take the points, but I guess they don't want it. They're chasing too many right now. They need 7.
And they're out of timeouts. There's 9 seconds left.
He got out of bounds, so that's the positive for him.
So it's 1st and goal at the 5. And quite honestly, that's been their best play of the night on the fake field goal attempt to Alexander. I got to be honest, I did not expect him to move that quickly. Play clock down to 6. They're going to have to hurry here. They're going to lose 5 yards. Play clock down to 3. They're going to barely get it off. Stinson looks to pass, and that's going to be incomplete. That was not close. And there's 5 seconds left here in the half, and now you may see, I mean, you're right, Chad. They're down by 18. The field goal doesn't help you a ton. It does get it down to a 2-score game if you kick it. I'm actually kind of shocked, Chad. Not much has gone right for them in this 1st half. I may take the points.
That's what I'm saying.
I think you got time. I mean, in the game, you got a whole half left. To be down 15, it's only 2 scores. But they're going to go for it here. And look, it's high risk, high reward, right? If you get a touchdown at the end of the half, you're back within 10. Stinson has time to pass. Flat, almost picked off.
I thought he picked it.
That was Witten over there. And look, now there's 1 second left. Yeah, here comes the field goal.
You got to kick it now.
Reminds me of a game in AT&T Stadium on last Sunday night where there was 1 second left to let somebody kick a field goal.
I didn't even watch it.
Well, you should have, except you shouldn't have.
Why?
Hey, man. The Cowboys are going to be fun to watch this year. They're not going to beat anybody.
Fun?
They're going to be fun to watch. They're not going to win games, Chad, but they're going to be fun to watch.
No, it's not even fun if you can't win.
Yeah, well, if you can't win, at least be fun to watch, I guess. All right, 22-yard field goal here for King. 1 second left. And we all got it! He got it again.
Tackle him.
But they picked it up, and it's blocked, and we'll go to the half.
That's a baby.
Up 21-3.
You talking about?
Hey, we got Coach Collins out there chest bumping people.
That's a shot in the arm going into halftime to block it. That's a great play.
I tell you what's been fun, guys, is that over the years, more and more boarding kids have gotten involved in everything.
Yeah,
you know, like
absolutely.
you were saying earlier, Jeremy, you see them on the basketball court, the baseball field, the football field, of course, the soccer team. We, I don't know what we'd be without our international kids and our soccer team. But like that play right there, one of our boys got in there and made the block, and that just caps the night off that much more.
And I mentioned this a minute ago, but you have guys now who come here because they see what we can offer on that side, and that's kind of been the difference. Now I do want to go back to this because I was thinking this a minute ago and we didn't have time, but you've been here. Not to age you because you're still a young guy, but you've been here for a while.
Oh, wow.
And this boarding program especially has taken off so huge from what it was. What, you've been here, 21 years. 21 years.
Yeah.
21 years ago today, what does it look like differently? I mean, I know the answer's a lot, but.
Yeah. So we rolled in 2004. I was the first guy Rod hired back in the day. And the boarding program, there was less than 40 kids in it.
Wow.
Well, at that time, actually, this football field wasn't here. That baseball complex wasn't here. Kyle Lake, Souls, Founders, the entire lower school wasn't here. We had 140 kids total.
Wow.
So it's been fun, 6 through 12. So it's been fun to watch. But yeah, the boarding program, Rod asked me back in 2012, he said, I need you to take over the boarding program and grow it up.
Yeah.
Blow it up and grow it up. And so that's what we did. And I'm not going to take any credit. It's my team. It's God's grace. But we went from 37 now to 118 by the number today. But it's just been phenomenal, you know, and we've seen kids come from all over. Like I said, we're over 70 countries now. We've seen kids every year they come to Christ. And you guys have been a part of that. You guys have been a part of that. You've been at the baptisms. You've been right in the middle of all of it. A lot of that happens in football. There's so much mentoring and discipleship that happens right there on the sidelines, and it's phenomenal to watch these kids come in here. They don't know a thing about the Lord, and then all of a sudden the way one of our students described it, Alan Zhong, years ago. He was a hardcore, hard nut atheist, and he will tell you he was a very argumentative kid.
Yeah.
But he after he graduated, actually, he came back to my house on a Saturday. I think I'd been mowing or something, and he knocked on the door and he said, "Mr. Roach, I just wanted to tell you that I've come to Christ."
That's awesome.
And I said, "Well, Alex, you got to tell me how in the world, because I know that you were so opposed to it." And he said, "I was," but he said, "I didn't know what to do with the unreasonable love."
Yeah.
That's the word he used. That's
Sean,
the term that he used.
we could tell so many stories. We don't have enough time to tell the stories of kids. Just since I've been in, this is my 13th year, and I could tell you stories of kids who, when you first met them, you thought they don't give one rip about what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you leave, or they leave, and it's just like, man, some of them it stuck, and the rest of them, it will stick. And that's the great thing about God, right? We don't have to do it.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it. We just have to be willing to share what we're supposed to share. And the love part is the thing, because I think what I deal with, and just in the basketball program, right, just the few girls that I've had, when they get here and you're with them so much, and you take care of them, they're like, why are you doing this?
Right. They don't.
And I remember last year, and I don't mind saying Zeus's name because I think she would not mind me sharing this, but last year she wrote me a letter at the end of the season, and she just said, "Coach, I never knew that coaches were more than just what can you get out of me." And I thought, thank you.
Wow,
because that's
beautiful.
that. But Sean, you've been here longer than me. We could list hundreds of kids who've been in that same boat. And you mentioned Alan. I think he's helping us get kids now here, right? Like he's pushing kids to come to Brook Hill from where he's back at home.
He's brought camps here. That's right. And then like we've had kids get hurt, and you and Tiffany put them up, and she just feed them and love them, and
let me tell you, they like to eat, Sean.
Yes, they do.
They like to eat.
Yeah.
They put them in the
yes, they do.
We actually kept. I don't even know which company, but we kept one of the spaghetti companies in business because when you have 800 pounds of offensive line at your house a couple nights a week, you start figuring out it's got to be spaghetti. Oh, man. Well, Sean, I appreciate you jumping on, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to cover the Parade of Nations here in a little bit, and we're excited about this for sure. And so we just appreciate all you do, and I know that so many boarding parents watching tonight, they appreciate you because – yeah, you have your own children, but you have 118 other children that you truly do care for every day. And you mentioned your staff. I don't want to also want to make sure you mention you have a great group of people working for you as well.
Yeah, well, it takes a village. It's my team, it's y'all, it's coaches, staff, teachers. It's the whole 9 yards. Because if it's not all of us, it's not going to work. But here we are. We all signed up for this, and I don't know that everybody understands exactly what they're getting into when they sign up for the Brook Hill gig. But it doesn't take too long before they learn just how beautiful it is. So like I said, it's like the Great Commission upside down. Instead of going to all the world and teaching what the Lord has taught us and baptizing in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they come to us. They learn our language, they learn our culture, and show up in Little Bullard every year. And it's just a phenomenal thing. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of it, blessed to be a part of it.
And you would agree with this. Sometimes you just go to work and it's like, I got to go to work today. We get to go to work and be a part of that. Seriously, it makes it all. Some of those conversations you're talking about make it worth it on a daily basis when you get to have those.
Yeah, well, I tell my staff, my team all the time, I'm like, we don't ever have to lay our head down at the end of the day and wonder if we did anything meaningful.
Yeah.
Whether that's you guys doing what you do, whether that's the teachers, what they do in the classroom, nobody here has to wonder, am I making a difference? Because every day we get to pour ourselves out in these kids' lives, but then the Lord fills us right back up and we get to go do it again the next day. So, yeah, and we get paid, like you said. I mean, who gets paid to do this?
Absolutely.
Well, if there was a Hall of Fame for folks at Brook Hill, and there will be one day, it's Sean Rhodes is in there. No, you are, man. And we appreciate all you do for us. I know these parents do, and we will take a break here. You'll hear Sean's voice in a minute when he's doing the Parade of Nations. We'll have that for you. It's 21-3. Grace trailing Brook Hill at the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
Welcome to Guard Country. I'm Wally Dawkins, Athletic Director at Brook Hill. Athletics is a big deal at Brook Hill. In fact, it's a really big deal. That was CJ and Samuel. They're both members of our football state playoff team. At Brook Hill, winning is the goal of competition, but that's not why we play. But we really love to win. That was Kaylee. Kaylee is the 3-time state champion in the 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles. That's Blake. Blake was a member of our state championship baseball team and our state championship soccer team. And he's coached by the Best Preps Coach of the Year, David Collins. Over 20 of our coaches are full-time employees, including our Director of Athletic Performance and Development. 2 more, sir. And that's Ben and Dallas. They're both members of our state championship baseball team. And Ben might be the next A.J. Minner. We not only work to develop our students' athletic performance, but also Christ-like character, on and off the field or the court. Hey, Juliana. That was Juliana. Juliana's all orange. She played on 4 different varsity teams at Brook Hill this year. At Brook Hill, we encourage our student athletes to compete in multiple sports. That's Carmen. Carmen has over 600 career strikeouts and was our starting pitcher on this year's state champion softball team. You'll hear us say all orange all the time, and we mean it. The culture of our athletic department is unlike any other at this level. And there's Osagi and Remy, both members of our state playoff basketball teams. Do you want a championship athletic program in a Christian environment that prepares you for the next level? Then come join our team.
Keeps. Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown.
National Parade of Nations. This spectacular ceremony features our boarding students from around the world as well as other Brook Hill International and Day students. I'm Sean Rhodes, Assistant Head of School over Boarding and Campus Ministry here at Brook Hill, and tonight it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you this year's boarding students representing 37 different countries. Some of our football players cannot join us for our halftime event, but their names and countries will also be called tonight. In addition to our boarding students, we also have other students enrolled from various countries for a grand total of 38 different nations studying here at Brook Hill just this year, making Brook Hill one of the most internationally diverse schools in the United States. Watching over our boarding students, we have our dedicated house parents made up of Josh Alexander, Brooke Gray, Chuck Kelly, Jessica Longenecker, Daniel Medell, Tim Serrano, and Melissa Musson, as well as our Res Life nurse, Mrs. Jessica Darby. These dedicated folks work tirelessly to care for all of our boarding students from August through May. How about a round of applause for our Res Life team? In our Res Life community, we also have students not only from around the world, but also right here in America. And leading off our parade tonight, our students from the good old US of A are Harrison Gouldsby, Daniel Yates, sisters Lena and Iggy Squires, Reagan Rohair, Brianna Plamunden, and Addie Carver. From the breathtaking country of Austria, please help me welcome for his first year at Brook Hill, Leon Zaromanegi. Representing Brazil, we have an outstanding group of students with us this year. Let's give a warm Brook Hill welcome to Mariana Pereira, Valentina Laucas, Sofia Lures, Maria Clara de Brazo Zen, Gabriela Fernandez, Francisco Juliato, Renato Carrera, Maria Luisa, and Pietro Victorelli. From our neighbors to the north, Canada, we have 5 brand new young men. Please help me welcome Laurent Deslauriers, Sini Rouleau, Gregoire Lacoste-Rondin, Pierre Lepont, and Marcus Visser. We have a great group of Penn students with us this year from China. Let's give a big Texas welcome to Jerry Jane, Dennis John, Charlie Chang, Joe Yu, Hannah Wei, Julie Tu, Sherry Yao, Jocelyn Sweet, Emily G, and Chloe Luo. Also joined by the Longenecker kids, Emma and Caleb, who were also born in China themselves. Our first student from Curacao, and his first year at Brook Hill, please help me welcome Kyle Jahase. Representing the Czech Republic, this year we have Nikki Korbelova, Leopold Kinso, and Gigi Winkler. Our students from Finland this year, Nico Maitunen, Emily Tierkonen, and Joona Suryavi. Representing France and returning for her senior year, let's hear it for Giselle Boulet. We have a young lady returning to us from Germany. Einen großes herzlich willkommen aus Texas zu Nila Schultz. New to us from Grand Cayman, let's give a warm welcome to Tobias West. A new young man representing two brand new countries as a dual citizen from Guatemala and El Salvador. Please welcome Juan Andres Mendezabal. Brand new to us from Hong Kong, let's hear it for Ethan Chang. And yet another brand new country from Hungary, please welcome Ezra Guba. We have a fantastic group of students from India this year, including one brand new student. Please extend a warm Brook Hill welcome to Joash Kandru, his younger sister Joanna Kandru, Manasa Ganugapinta, Dwani Pagadar, and also from India by way of Saudi Arabia, Ezekiel Abraham. From Indonesia, please welcome back Ephraim Ginting and his little sister Quinta Ginting. This year, we're blessed to have back with us a young man from the Regal Nation of Japan. Say hello to Maito Kimura. A lovely young lady, brand new to us from Kazakhstan. How about a big Brook Hill welcome for Asina Baisu? This year, returning from Kenya, help me welcome back Tamara Olaambo. Also back with us from Lebanon, please help me welcome brother and sister twins, Morris and Athea El Hello. We have two young men returning to us from Lithuania. Say hello to Rojus Rudzinskas and Majus Abaneshev. This year we have a good-sized group of students with us here from our neighbor to the south, Mexico. Let's hear it for Marcelo Arechea, Andres Gavito, his big brother Javier Gavito, Alejandro Camarena, Miguel Alatriste, Jose Gonzalez, Igor Chavano, and Romeo Ramos. Once again, we have another great group of Nigerian students with us this year. Please help me welcome Jemizu Tasie, Mide Adenegi, his sister Sekemi Adenegi, FJ Sayedoni, Imi Kayode, Ire Akanebdeli, Koju Abagunde, Amarachi Opara, Odara Okiode, her sister Abigail Okiode, Zikora Okareke, and Dunsin Adesola. We have two wonderful young ladies with us from Poland, Zuzana Mikshak and Carolina Gale. Representing Singapore, please help me welcome Grace Wong and Karanmi Duotiwan. Welcome back from South Africa, Destiny Gobani. And now for our biggest national group from the dignified country of South Korea, please help me welcome back Daniel Kim, Brian Sheen, Jay Park, Eddie Park, Sejin An, Jesse Choi, Jay Ying, Hana Lee, Claire Shine Kim, Kylan Kim, Yonu Lee, Sophia Bay, and Eugene Choi. Joining us from the noble nation of Spain, we have a lively group comprised of Guillermo Biasca Besada, Alberto Medrano, Miriam Sancho, Sol Sanchez Brinas Malo, and Valeria Galindo Pastor. Representing Sweden, two new young men, Casper Hansen and Isaac Lundqvist. From Taiwan, another brand new student. Say hello to Alex Hung. And our last nation is a group of fantastic students from the country of Vietnam. Please help me welcome Harry Lam, Jo Nguyen Dong, George Guat Hoon, Harry Nguyen Viet Minh, Andy Khoi Minh Dong, Do Dui An Nguyen, Evelyn To, Jennifer Nguyen, Kelly Tai, and Sophia Nguyen. So there you have it, folks. The world has truly come to Brook Hill. How about one last rousing round of applause for this year's 2025-2026 Brook Hill Residence Life and International students. Please help these students feel welcome, not just tonight, but throughout the entire year, as they are now home away from home, and their family is our family, and we are theirs. Thank you, students. Thank you, Brook Hill families, for this warm reception of our boarding students. This concludes our Parade of Nations ceremony. Thank you so much.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw.
Plus guard dogs. These are the Brook Hill Lower School cheerleaders under the direction of Miss Tiffany Hubbard and Maddie Hanks with the help of our varsity cheerleaders. How about that? '78 strong, the lower school cheerleaders. So there you have it. You've seen them on ESPN, Fox Nation, ABC Sports. Now you got to see them live and in person tonight.
Keeps Williams. Fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Come on, Joe, still on his feet. He's still running.
Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he gonna score?
Wow.
Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh my God. No,
It's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick six. Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little. Oh, he ran over the defender. The helmet coming off. Holy man. Quarterback Smith. And Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott! Is a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost all the way. Just tackled at the one. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there. That
Man, oh man. What a catch.
Today is your day.
We are back here at the half. Jeremy Hubbard, Chad Grubbs. Chad, I don't know why we would ever pay a marketing department. All we would have to do is film what's taking place at halftime tonight, record the conversation we have with Sean Rhodes. You see the boarding program. You see our lower school cheerleaders. You're beating Grace 21-3. We could save some money.
Oh, why go anywhere else, huh?
Jeez.
And it's so much fun.
What a night here. Now, look, it's not over.
No.
And here's the thing. Everything's great that's happened so far, but Brook Hill has led at the half the last 2 years and has lost both games. So
we have seen some crazy stuff in the second half.
And I can assure you that was the message at halftime.
Absolutely.
I am no longer in that locker room at halftime. I'm no longer with them at damn practice. I can assure you Scott Ryle has told this group it is not over. It is a 0-0 game. Matter of fact, let's play like we're behind. Let's go out and add to it. That is what he does. That is, there is nobody better that there could be for going in that locker room right now and explain to them the importance of the next 24 minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's time to erase the first half and just go out there and play your ball game.
So I was actually wrong, Chad. I thought that we kicked off to start the game. We actually got the ball first.
And it went so crazy in the first half.
The first few minutes was different. At the half, Zach Ryle, listen to this, 8 of 10 passing, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. P.A. LaPlante, 8 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. He also caught a 49-yard touchdown pass. Cole Schluter, 2 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown as well. Grace did start the scoring up 3-0, and then Brook Hill, 21 straight points, 3 touchdowns in the last 6 minutes of the first half. And Gavito's kick is going to be fielded, and they're going to bring this thing out up across the 15. And McQuay will be brought down just shy, right at the 15-yard line. And once again, the Cougars will start deep in their own territory.
That's part of the game that I miss is kids, returning to football on a kickoff because, man, when I've coached, I've had some good ones that could hit a seam and take it to the house. And you just don't see as many kickoff returns anymore because, one, just in the back, everything's in the end zone.
All right, see the cheerleaders down there. Ron's getting the camera, throwing out those NETSN T-shirts tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you to Quality T-shirts for providing those shirts for us tonight. Let the cheerleaders throw them and give some advertisement to NETSN. It's awesome. It's been fun.
We have not mentioned Ron Owens tonight, but he's up there on the top with the camera doing a great job as always for us. The unsung hero of the night, definitely. And a quick quarterback run is going to be sniffed out by number 6. That's Isaac Lundqvist. And Isaac brings him down for a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15. And they are sticking, by the way, with Stinson at quarterback.
They did. And, I think they were trying to have everybody flow with Alexander right there to the defensive left. And quarterback kept it. And
Didn't go well.
Isaac was able to play. Isaac played exactly what he was supposed to do.
So loss of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 15. And they're going to hand it to Alexander. He's going to be brought down for another loss of about 7 on the play. Sidney Rio brings him down. Back at the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and, oh gosh, 20. I'm not good at math, Chad. 22.
I think the defense took to heart what Coach Ryle said. I promise you. And I can guarantee you, Coach Collins said, I don't want to see more than 3 points on the board for Grace.
3rd down.
He set a challenge for him.
He did. I promise you, he did. 3rd down and 22. Stinson looking to pass. He's in the end zone. This is dangerous. They're going to throw it down deep, and it's going to be way out of bounds. It's dropped on the sideline over there, and it's going to be 4th down and 22. And now you're pointing at me.
It's dangerous.
This is where Greg can go in and get one here.
Absolutely. You bobble it right here, it can end up on the ground. We can recover it. We can get them for a safety. They can snap it out of the end zone. You never know what's going to happen when you get backed up for a punt in the end zone.
And it's in their head. It has to be in their head that the fact that he's almost gotten a couple of them here. And it's a short drop back for him, honestly, since they're so close to the goal line. Grondin's at the far side on the top, right up the gut.
Yes!
He blocks
Get on it!
Pick it up. Touchdown, guard. Isaac Lundqvist. The block by Sarahavi. Lundqvist picks it up. What are we talking about here? What in the world are we talking about?
They're saying he was out of bounds, but they're calling it safety.
You know what? We'll take the 2.
I'll take whatever.
We'll take the 2. But Sarahavi that time. Now, that's what happens when you get a guy off the edge. It comes so hard like that. They go back and they block him, and Sarahavi right up the gut.
Right up the middle. And like you said, they fanned out, trying to slow the pressure off the end, and we ran right up the middle.
So 10:39 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Brook Hill already on the Sarahavi block punt safety. What a play for Yona. I know his family's watching, and they're happy to see that. And it was close. I knew it was close to that back line for sure. Oh, you don't like Coach Dawkins' music? Oh, okay. All right. But the score now, 23-3 Brook Hill, and it extends that lead back to 20 points.
Absolutely. That's a huge defensive stand for the defense coming out at half. You're up. Don't get lackadaisical, and you set the tone right off the bat.
23 unanswered points here for the guard. Once again, thanks to all of you watching here tonight on NETSN. Make sure and let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We got people from all over the world. We got them from Chicago. We got them from Norman, Oklahoma. We got them in Guatemala. We got them in Finland. We got them in Canada. We got them everywhere, Chad.
It's awesome. It's a fun thing to be able to call those out each week.
10:30. We got 10:39 to play in the 3rd quarter, and King will kick it away, and it's Mettinen back there deep, and he's going to bobble it and pick it up to 14. Mettinen now across the 20, the 25, 30. He's going to have a grease at the 40 at midfield. Makes a move back inside. He's going to be brought down at the 46. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the guard inside Cougar territory.
Boy, there was a crease there, and he hit it, but it closed down on him real quick. I thought he was going to go for a minute. He did go for a minute. He just got tackled. I thought he was going to go a lot further.
So
great return.
They're going to mark it at the 45. It'll be 1st and 10 there for the guard.
Got to go capitalize right here. First drive for the offense,
Yeah.
it's one to set the tone for the second half.
Would love to put another one in here and make it 30-3. So Ryle in the shotgun with LaPont to his right, Gandy to his left. By the way, how good was Sean Rhodes, not just in our interview, Chad, but also with the name pronunciations? He is the GOAT.
Well, let me tell you, when we first started this season.
There goes Gandy. Left side, Gandy at the 35, 30, 25, break the tackle to 20, spin move, down to the 15.
Oh, Galloping Gandy, as Coach Dawkins calls him. That's a great run by Grant right there.
And just one play. How about 30 yards for Gandy on the rush?
You're talking about Sean and how he can pronounce every one of those kids' names. Well, our first scrimmage this year, I'm calling him, hey, can you pronounce these names for us so we can get them right?
Ryle on the keeper is going to go down inside. They're going to spot him, let's see, at the 2-yard line, I believe. And now here goes this run game. You mentioned that attitude you wanted to see from them.
I think
How about that?
We're firing on all cylinders right now.
11 yards on the carry for Ryle.
They are dragging.
First and goal at the 4. Ryle's going to hand it off to Gandy, up the gut. Gandy's in. Touchdown guard.
Great job, Gandy, right there. Just he was mad at the line of scrimmage, just kept going, and it's 6 for the guard.
And so a minute and 5 seconds after the last score, the safety, Gandy punches it in from 4 yards out. And this Brook Hill lead is now at 29-3. And Gavito will come in and attempt the point after. Weisner, the hold. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and Gavito's kick is good. It's 30-3. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Back here at Harrington Stadium, where the guard on top of the Cougars now 30-3. And you want to talk about balance, Chad? 2 touchdowns through the air for Zach Ryle, a touchdown on the ground for LaPont, and a touchdown on the ground for Grant Gandy. And the guard are up 30-3.
That's what Coach Copeland wants, a balanced offense, and he's getting it tonight. It took us a little bit to get going, but once we got going, it's looked really, really good.
We talked about the message at the half was do not worry about what the score is. We have to continue to play. And 2 minutes and 26 seconds into the third quarter, and the guard have put up 9 points to start play here. Kick is fielded by McQuay at about the 5-yard line. McQuay across the 15, the 20, and he's going to be brought down at about the 24-yard line. So the last time the defense was on the field, they ended up getting a safety, putting them in 4th and 4th and 24, Chad?
Yeah. I think the defense is just going to keep going to stay basic. What we've been doing, just keep coming after them. I mean, it's tough. I mean, they're on their third quarterback now, and I mean we saw that against Carlisle. Their number 1 goes out. Their number 2, come to find out, was their receiver that went down
early in the game.
So early in the game, and then they're having to play with their number 3. So we've been in this situation. We've got to capitalize defensively, and we have so far.
So 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Ball's at their own 25 is where they'll spot it. Stinson will hand off to Heck. Heck's going to be hit for a loss again. Another big-time play by this defense, and this time – believe that was Eli Hall that got off the bottom of the pile to get there first. And in this slant defense, if you will play flat, you will stop the counter play.
This is something that I've noticed. I noticed it early in the ball game, but now I'm just paying attention to it because kids going both ways for Grace. The numbers of our guys on the sideline compared to their guys,
it's
on
a
the
lot.
Sideline.
Yeah.
And normally that's not.
It's usually the other way around.
Absolutely.
In a lot of situations. Stinson on the keeper will gain back to maybe the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down at 10. But the other thing, too, is when you're down your third quarterback already, when they had, Cole Stanley, you take him from being a receiver who they want to have out there. Now you take out Stinson, who does a lot of other things for him. Yeah. And so it doesn't just affect the quarterback.
It makes
depth,
you
right?
one-dimensional.
It's everything. Yeah,
it makes you one-dimensional, and it's just it's hard offensively.
So 3rd down and 10. Stinson now. Here comes Lacasse Grandin, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to bring him down to 15.
I mean, he's so fast off the edge.
Simpson is sacked in the backfield. That's number 8, Greg Gondon.
You keeping stats on how many sacks?
I wasn't keeping sacks, but it's been nothing but sacks and block punts and everything else tonight. But what a performance, man. This guy is going off.
His motor is on tonight for sure. And he has been all year, but tonight they've found a way to expose the offense, Grace's offense, and take advantage and let Greg go do his thing.
4th and 17 for the Cougars. 7:29 and counting to play here. And Sarah Javi had a chance to get to that one too.
They're not backing off.
Yeah, it's in their head right now. Weisner's going to pick up the punt to 44. Weisner's got a little room to run. Across the 45, across the 40, and out of bounds finally at the 39. And they may tell Weisner, hey, don't pick that ball up again, but great run.
Coach Harrison's down there, hey, patting him on the back, great job. Hey, you might want to think about it next time.
I appreciate the return. Don't do it again. So 7:15 to play here in the third quarter, and Brook Hill has already extended their lead from 21-3 to 30-3 here in the third quarter. And they have another possession starting inside Grace territory in the third quarter.
Again, you can't take a breath. You got to keep the gas pedal on the floor.
1st and 10. Ryle with 2 backs in the backfield again. We'll give it to PA. PA up the middle across the 30. Still fighting. Now Sydney's just going to push him on. Keep going. All the way down to the 21.
Oh, it's so much fun to watch him run.
A gain of 17 for PA.
And again, that's something back when we played, you couldn't do that. The assists and all that. But that with the lineman just keeping and staying in the play, it's huge.
Ryle looking to throw it now. He's going to pull it down and run. A good decision. He gets it across the 20. He's going to gain a couple of yards here. And that play didn't look like that was maybe not the way they drew it up.
No,
but it's going to work. Gain of 2 for Ryle.
We've always said when Zach keeps the ball in his hands on the run in the run game, he's hard to bring down.
See Mark Antoine in the chat with us is the cousin of Greg, and yes, Mark Antoine, he is a beast tonight, especially 2nd and 8, and the offense will check to the sideline and see what they want to do here. 6:18 and counting in the third quarter, 30-3 the score. It's been all Brook Hill since the first few minutes of the game. Ryle has time, looking to pass, middle of the field for Schluter, caught, touchdown! And they're going to have to pull Sydney off there. His helmet came off, and he's like, okay, I'm celebrating. They're like, no, you can't do that.
Got to come off the field.
21-yard touchdown pass from Ryle to Schluter.
Speaking of, hey, they might not have that in Canada. I mean, the different rules that they have up there, we got to figure it out, right?
They let them run forward before the ball snapped.
And they have an extra guy.
Maybe we can get Mark Antoine to tell us here. And they play with a 5-yard, is it 10 yards bigger field? I don't know. I'm really confused when I watch.
Everybody's like, oh, it's football. It's a little different.
It is football, but it's not the football that I have seen. As Gavito will kick the extra point. Gavito's kick is good, and it is 37-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. We are back here at Harrington Stadium where the Guard have made this a 37-3 game. It has been an onslaught since the beginning of the half. As it was 21-3 at the half. We've played 6 minutes in the second half, and it's now 37-3.
You know, we start the game off, and they pick a screen, and it just we couldn't get in a routine, a rhythm, and
we found it.
We finally found it, and we hadn't slowed down, and I don't think we're going to try to. We're not going to slow it down. They're going to have to stop us.
Hicks returns the kick, and then we brought down at the 15-yard line. A lot of guys, and here's the thing, man. Everything in athletics is contagious, Chad, and now you got everybody flying around on kicks to tackle people. You got the defense flying around. Who knows how many sacks we're going to have?
Just keep, and we're not going to call the dogs off. I don't think either.
I hope not. Just going to be honest. Sorry, Brett. I hope not. Hope we don't call them off. Let's just keep going. We'll run the clock. The clock will save them at some point. But this is the kind of game, right? This is the rivalry game where we're not stopping.
But also, we've seen it. We've seen crazier things happen in the second half in a Grace Brook Hill game. You never know what's going to happen.
We saw, you were a part of the game here, 44-6, Brook Hill won at home. The rain, I don't know if you're here for the rain game. We were in a downpour. We win that game at home as well. I got to drive to Oklahoma tonight. I was hoping for a running clock. Looks like we may get it. We'll see what happens. 1st and 10 for the guard, and now.
Well, Halo.
Oh, they can't break the huddle with that many. There's a flag, and they'll back them up. And that's just kind of the night it's been for Grace, where they cannot get anything going. And here's the thing. They're having, right now, offense coordinator Tyler Fleet, head coach Tim Russell, they are so much thinking about all the defensive things that Brook Hill has done to them. How do you game plan? How do you call a game right now?
Very similar to what we were in last week.
Right.
Watch Hill hitch and pitch again.
Shift into empty net. Now he's moving forward. Throw the flag. But he's going to be sacked again. Nope. He's going to get it away. Caught. Shouldn't be a play anyway.
Going to be short.
Going to be a yard short. But you got to throw the flag there on the illegal motion, number 1.
Coach Riles letting him know, but they're going a little tempo right here.
2nd and a yard for Grace, 5:18 and counting.
They're going to have to do crazy things to get one to break, to bust.
There's Alexander, hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll have the first down, but not much more. I think they ought to realize that playing that Canadian style of going toward the line of scrimmage is really playing into our guy, because our guy number 8 that's wearing him out, he knows that game.
He knows that.
Yeah. All right, let's just let's go put Sid in there. Let's put Larry in there. You want to play Canadian football, I don't think that's going to work out real well either. 1st and 10 at the 26.
Bruno checking back in at nose guard.
Man, just able to rotate those guys through there. It's so nice. And a loose snap. And there's Edward Park on top of Alexander. They'll lose, they're going to lose 7 yards, 8 yards on the play back to the 18. It'll be 2nd down and 18.
We talked about it all year, about the opportunity for us with the numbers we have of being able to rotate and keep those guys fresh. We saw it in the Carlisle game. We're seeing it tonight that, we have the energy in the second half.
2nd and 18, 4:08 and counting. 37-3. Let's get one on defense to get the clock running. Looking to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's going to throw it deep, and it is going to be incomplete. Great coverage by Witten again, trying to get it to Doak Porter.
Stayed in phase right there. That means just he stayed right there where he's supposed to be, and great breakup. Ball was a little underthrown. Brings up a 3rd down and long.
You know, last week, Chad, we had a lot of people maybe didn't watch the second half. I think all the Brook Hill people are watching the second half tonight. They're loving this. I'm getting text. They're watching. Third down and 18. 3:51 to play in the third quarter. Coach Collins sees something. He's yelling at him. Pass over the far side is going to be caught. Porter catches it, and Porter will have the first down. And they're going to probably throw a flag. I don't think they should, but let's see. No, they didn't call it. But guess who the man was down the field to tackling? Greg. Again. It's like they cloned him, and there's 4 of him out there tonight.
He is all over the place.
Nice pass by Dylan Stinson.
And you see now, once again, just this defensive line, they're just rotating guys in and out. You see Luke Scott coming into the game now, getting Edward out.
And we're shifting guys over. Sidney was at nose a while ago. Now he's at tackle.
Oh, you got Sid and Greg on the same side. There's Alexander. Hit the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for a yard. As it looks like tripping him up was Danger Troy also in there. I think I saw Cody Clark and Luke Scott. And here's the thing about Greg. This has been the evolution. I am so proud of him about the way he's played tonight as opposed to maybe the first couple weeks. You saw him on that play. He was the flat defender, and he played it right.
Well, again, it takes a little bit.
It does.
For us, especially our international kids. It takes them a little while to understand our game plan.
And another.
Oh, what's that? Surely not.
Well, it's a sack for Danger Troy, but there is a flag down.
It's on them. Our guys are clapping.
And this defense, remember the first 2 drives, Chad, and we said, man, we got to find a way to slow down their rush, their defense, and now it's the other way around.
Absolutely.
If they don't figure out a way to slow us down, we may end the night with 40 sacks.
Let's go.
Listen, I'm here for it. I'll stay here all night. We want to keep getting them.
You may be tired driving to Norman.
I don't care. No, I won't. I won't. I'll be worth it.
You might drive all the way tonight.
I'll drive straight there.
We get the clock running.
We get a few more sacks. I'll walk. I don't care.
You better put your boot on.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the boot for that. I ain't gonna lie. Oh man, this game's gonna be could be very similar to the one I have to watch tomorrow, Chad. I have to watch Oklahoma-Kent State tomorrow. Yes, I said it. I have to watch.
Have to. Okay.
Oklahoma versus Kent State. Yeah. What?
Are you gonna wear burnt orange?
Yeah, no, Chad. I'm gonna wear the color.
There you go. Your money's there. You got it. You got to wear it, right?
You're gonna learn this soon, Chad. There comes a point to where it doesn't really matter what you think. Wherever your money goes is what color you're gonna wear.
I just pray mine don't go to LSU.
And you just hope it's the right colors.
Right. I don't want to have to wear purple and gold.
Fortunately, I look okay in red.
But let me tell you, if they pay for us to have to. And me have to wear those colors, I'll do it. If they're going to pay me. If they're going to pay the
listen,
kids.
That's true. So a funny story, when Luke was a little kid, we would tell him, like, you can go anywhere but A&M, right? And Luke goes, well, what if they offer me a scholarship? I said, here's the good news, Luke. If you're good enough to get a scholarship at A&M, somebody else is going to offer you too. So it ain't going to matter. But it ain't going to be that. That was also the point in our life where Oklahoma was never going to be in the conversation,
Absolutely.
But here we are.
Here we are now.
Going to Norman tomorrow to watch a football game, but it's all right. You know, he's a practice player. I'm really not even worried about the game tomorrow. I get to watch him get dominated by some women's basketball players tomorrow. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. He's watching. He actually texted me a minute ago, but he already knows all we're waiting for is to watch him get dominated tomorrow by a couple of All-Americans. All right, whatever we decided here, it's 3rd down and 16 from the 35-yard line with 2:47 and counting to play in the 3rd quarter. Quick pass over the far side to Porter. Porter has the catch across the 40 up near the 45, and I believe that's Sid that chased him down.
Oh, man. You get that kid running full speed at you, man. You'll feel it.
Elijah Hicks on the reception.
Oh, Luke says stop talking about me. Yeah, right. We're going to keep going, bud. I promise you. 4th down and 5 here for the Cougars.
Because we love you, brother.
2:12 and counting in the 3rd quarter. And you got to go for it here, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, punting does you no good here. 2nd and 5. Stinson looking to pass. Here comes the pressure. Ball is high. It's going to be caught by McQuay. They'll have the 1st down, and McQuay will be brought down by Casper Hansen at the guard 45-yard line.
This is the first drive in a little while that Grace has been able to string things together, gaining a little bit of confidence to see if the defense can step up right here and get a stop.
Well, and here's what they're having to do, too. They're having to do some things that I don't think they want to do, but they're able to find a few things that are working.
Right.
This is not the offense that we've seen from them.
No.
Going to roll out, trying to get it over on the far side of number 33, and they have looked for him a lot. He's been a big part of the game plan tonight.
Yeah, Gardner.
As Andrew Gardner.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a hard play for a quarterback that probably does not get that many reps during the week. And making a throw, booting out, trying to make a throw in the flats, that's tough.
Minute 31 to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 10. And they're also they are not in a hurry. And Stinson hitting the backfield. Luke Scott can hold up to, but the 2nd and 3rd guys do. As that's Eli Hall and Edward Park. They're not going to let him go.
It's like neither one of them wanted the football. Tried to get it to Alexander, and Stinson just had to keep it.
Be honest, at this point,
they're having a discussion about who's supposed to have the football right there.
3rd down and 12, and you saw Eli Hall on the last play. Now they bring in the big bodies. Brantley Bruno checks in. Sidney Rouleau checks in.
But then you got Edward Park because he's fast off the line.
I could write a book about Edward Park stories, Chad.
No, I can too. Just watch it. Hey, he came out and he pole vaulted for a little while, and he's dangerous.
Then you probably have some. Yeah, no, he's just athletic enough to get himself hurt.
Yeah.
3rd down and 12, 44 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. And here comes the pressure up the gut. Sarah Javi, the pass is knocked away, incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 12. And what I love about this defense tonight, Chad, they're playing. Yeah, sorry, that was Nico on the hit. They're playing a little swagger now. It's a little bit of confidence that we haven't seen from them in a while, and that's good. How would they bounce back from last week? And
Absolutely.
they've done it.
And they've answered the call for sure. We saw this at the end of the Carlisle game. You know, we were hoping to see it going into Regents. We didn't, but they found it. If we can keep this going, we're going to be okay.
So 4th and 12 from the Brook Hill 47. 37 seconds to play in the third quarter. Shift into that empty formation again. Here comes the pressure. Hit, gets away, and dropped at the 50. Jonas Sarahavi brings him down for a loss of a yard, and it's a turnover on downs, and Brook Hill's about to go punch another one in and start the clock.
That'd be awesome.
29 seconds to play in the third quarter, 37-3.
Coach Collins out there congratulating the defense coming off the field. He's fired up. The whole defensive staff is grabbing guys around the neck, give them a hug. You know, they're playing their tails off tonight.
And 2 former defensive staff members in the press box wishing I was down there chest bumping people right now. There ain't nothing better than giving it to them. And now I actually just saw Coach Collins get that wind the clock thing. I know what he wants.
Yes, sir. He wants to score right here, and let's move it all the way through the fourth quarter.
1st and 10 at the Brook Hill 48. Ryle takes the snap, hands off to Gandy, and Gandy will be back to the line of scrimmage.
We got
no
people
gain.
flipping all over the place.
And we got flags everywhere. Let's see how this pans out. Here's the thing.
It gets chippy.
It
happens.
I told you, don't let the private school, small school football make you think this is not important. Let's see what they're going to discuss here with 19 seconds to play in the third quarter.
3 or 4 flags on the turf.
Let's see. They're talking to Coach Copeland, Coach Ryle. We'll see by their reaction what they're giving us. Let's see.
Coach Copeland's not happy. Be offsetting, possibly. Because it can't just be one way.
Well, I think that's best case scenario. Oh, we got a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask. Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. So it's going to be offsetting.
Yeah, those will offset. Okay, good. And this is, listen, now we're in the situation too, Chad, where next week's a big game for Brook Hill also.
Absolutely.
Hyde Park coming to town. That if this score holds, next week is going to come down to who gets that second home playoff game. Now, Grace Prep's going to have something to say about that too, but it's going to be an important game next week. So,
hey, the positive is we don't have to travel to Austin next week.
Oh, brother.
Now, we do in a couple weeks,
That's
but
all
we
right.
don't have to go next week.
2nd and 10. Game clock at 3 in the third quarter. They'll snap it. Ryle looking to pass. Has time. Throws it deep. Looking for PA. Incomplete. Just missed him. And that's his first incompletion since his 4th pass of the game. He has been spot on tonight. Zach Ryle has played outstanding, and it's kind of been lost in this whole thing how well he's played.
Yes.
We've reached the end of the third quarter. Brook Hill on top, 37-3. I'll say it again. Brook Hill 37, Grace 3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
The Friday night lights are shining, and we are teaching driving. CDL Training Academy is your resource to a better career. Come and get trained and get tested right here in Henderson, Texas. CDL Training Academy. Visit our Henderson, Texas office or online at cdllearn.com.
Back here at Harrington Stadium on the campus of the Brook Hill School on NETSN. Thanks for watching tonight. Jeremy Hubbard and Chad Grubbs here with you. And what a night for the Brook Hill School. Not just the football game, a 37-3 lead, but the Parade of Nations, the lower school cheer. Chad, really a celebration of what Brook Hill is all about.
Absolutely. Just glad we can be a part of it. It's I'm glad that we were able to display it with through NETSN. You know, that's what Brett started this for. He did it for the kids, and we were able to, you know, capitalize on that for our boarding kids.
Brett's okay, I guess. He's all right. I mentioned myself in chat, but Ron Owens up on top bringing you the camera work tonight. He's done a great job of capturing all this stuff as it's gone along. 3rd down and 10. Rowell looking to pass. Here comes the pressure. There's the screen pass, incomplete. And it just they gave just enough pressure to force the throw early. It's going to be 4th down and 10. Brook Hill a punt. Okay, I jumped the gun a little bit on score, getting at the clock running, Chad, but the defense can score. We're fine with that, too.
We haven't had a defensive score
it's been a minute.
It's been a while. What? Yeah, that's special team score on the block punt.
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
Don't count as defense.
Score.
Nope.
I don't know if Coach Collins, I don't know if he can handle a defensive touchdown tonight.
Yeah, he can.
He got them new hips, man. He's ready to go. Got that new back. My man is athletic now. He is agile. Riles punt is going to be fielded by Hicks at the 15. He's going to make a move back inside, and there's Hall. There's Danger trying to bring him down. Danger, a nice open field tackle by Danger Troy. And the Cougars will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20 with 11:22 to play.
Again, talking about everybody flying down, staying in their lanes. You know, missed a couple of tackles, but you've got somebody right there where they're supposed to be to make a tackle.
The only fitting way to cap off this night for the defense is the score.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to beg, but that is the way to finish this night off.
Absolutely.
See a couple of graduates from last year on the sideline. C.J. Bird and Rico Giberte are down there on the sideline, Chad.
Oh, C.J.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. Their own 20. 11:22 to play in the ball game. Stinson hands it to Alexander off the left side, and Alexander will gain maybe 2 yards before he's brought down. See Arache in there, Hayden Watson, Jonas Arahavi in there. 2nd down and 8 now for the Cougars.
Again, that's that. Why run downhill? And Alexander, he likes to bounce it outside. But you've got Greg out there on one side, and you've got Brex has been out there a little bit, so it's and you can't get out there.
The good news for Brook Hill is Alexander will come to the near side this time, and there goes Eli Hall from that backside defensive end, and then he's finished off by Cody Clark. You know, they're trying to ease Brex back into it, and fortunately for the score, they've been able to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's huge because you're going to need him down the road.
Absolutely. And, you know, he wanted to come back sooner, you know, of course, but you don't want to rush that because you've got a long season to play, and you don't want something to happen again, and you want to make sure he's 100% when he gets back on the field.
Yeah,
because it's going to take that first hit before you're timid. You know, you're going to be timid the whole time.
Stinson looking to pass far side, incomplete.
Stinson pass. Incomplete.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8. So, excuse me, 4th down and 11. Sorry, I was distracted. I see there was a crowd of people down there in the end zone, and then all of a sudden the crowd dispersed. I see one of our security guards down there. I think it's okay. Everybody walked off on their own power, so whatever game was going on down there, it's over. So the Cougars will punt again, and Brook Hill is not going to go after this one as hard as they have the others. And the punt will be fielded by Weisner back to 38. He'll call for the fair catch at 39, 1st and 10 for the guard.
Weisner might have listened to Coach Harrison on that one.
All I know is Weisner, I wonder how he felt about the Cowboy game Sunday night. And my man's a Cowboy fan. I love it. Listen, we got to go back to this. The Cowboys are not going to beat anybody, Chad. I am fully aware. But if they're not going to beat anybody, wouldn't you rather watch them tie 40-40 than just lose 40-10?
No.
Okay, Chad, we're not talking about this anymore then.
kissing your sister.
The Bear game 2 weeks ago was terrible, and we lost. At least it wasn't a loss. And Micah Parsons, who? 1st and 10.
Yeah, stop us on the –
at their own third. Yeah, that's a flag. We had too many guys out there on the field. That'll back us up. It'll be 1st down and 15. And listen, Chad, only this – well, the offsetting penalty doesn't count, but that's only the second enforced penalty against the Guard tonight.
Wow.
And only for 10 yards. The offsetting would have been different, obviously. 1st and 15, 10:04 to play. Ryle, they tried to freeze him, and now they're going to get it. I didn't think it was enough to throw the flag, but the guy on this side threw it. Now, you shouldn't have blown the whistle there.
Oh, he calling a false start. Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Shouldn't have said that about only having 2 penalties so far.
Backs up 5 more is going to bring up 1st and 20. The ball is on.
So 1st down and 20 now. Just gives us a chance to put more yards up, I guess.
When was the last time a running clock in a Grace Brook Hill game?
It's been a little while. We need it tonight. Rowell hands off to Gandy. Gandy up the middle. No, that's Gandy. Off the right side, 50, 40. Cuts back inside across the 30. Still fighting down to the 26-yard line.
Let me tell you, that kid is not afraid.
But we got a flag down.
Coming back. Gandy is not afraid of contact. He is.
He's one of those guys that looks for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Gandy on that nice run, but we have another flag down. Holding against the Guard.
Well,
let's do it again.
That'll back them up. It'll be from the spot. It'll go back to the 24-yard line. So it only ends up being a 5-yard penalty in terms of going backwards. It does negate a 50-something-yard run.
It makes it 1st and 25.
It is 1st and 25, and if they go much further, I'm running out of fingers and toes to count. So Rao hands off the game. No, he kept it this time. Now pitches late to Hansen. And Hansen up to the 26, a gain of 2 on the play for Hansen. They're getting pretty good at that, where I can't even tell who it is.
That's how you run it.
Well, I think we weren't sure what to expect tonight, Chad. We thought maybe the game would be back and forth. It started out that way. It started out 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. And now Ryle looking to pass deep. They drew him off sides again. Pass incomplete to Body, but it will be a offsides penalty against the defense. And that'll make it a little closer. 2nd and 18.
You were hoping for this outcome.
Yeah.
You know, especially after last week. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, you go through a game like you did last week, and then you get your rival the next week, and it can go one or two ways. And luckily tonight, it's gone our way.
Yeah, fortunately for us, it went our direction. 2nd down and 18 after the penalty. And Ryle will move Gandy over to his right. Hand it to Gandy, and Gandy up the middle, fighting off contact again up across the 35-yard line to the 37. So a gain of 6 on the play.
3rd and 12, gain of 7 on the carry.
8-13 and counting. 3rd down and 12 here for the Guard. Rao has time, looking to pass down the middle of the field. Caught! Touchdown! Brig Hargett! You're not going to catch him. Run the clock!
Absolutely. Just keep it running. Like to see
63 yards from Ryle to Hargett.
That's your exclamation point right there.
The 4th touchdown for Zach Ryle. And it's 43-3, and it's about to be 44, and the clock's not going to stop.
Hargett on that reception. Hargett's in the end zone.
How fast is Brig Hargett?
Coach, he can go.
I was worried we wouldn't be able to throw it deep tonight with Daniel Yates out. We've been throwing it deep plenty. And Gavito's point after is good. It's 44-3. Not a mistake. 44-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Back here at Harrington Stadium, and folks, we're not going to be with you much longer. We're at 6:05 and counting. The clock ain't stopping. Rest of the way.
Man, it's been a fun night because it's going to end the way we wanted it to. It's been a while.
And quite honestly, Chad, the way that when you looked at film, the way you thought it should go.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, we didn't know what to expect, but when you just look at the teams on film,
we were the better team.
There's a gap in talent for sure. The kick goes into the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars at their own 25. And so it sets up a great one next week. Brook Hill will host Hyde Park. The winner of that game more than likely puts themselves in the driver's seat for that second spot in the district and the home playoff game. Now, I mentioned Grace Prep a minute ago. Grace Prep's a lot better now than what we anticipated them being, and so now you got to win next week.
Absolutely, you do. And, you know, I'm looking right now. I don't know if there's a Hyde Park score.
I didn't see it. They're playing Regents tonight. No, are they playing Regents tonight?
No, I don't know. We'll find it later. But, I mean, it could be, it could come down to, you know, who gets that second place in the district, and you get a home playoff game.
That was such a great game last year down in Austin. I expect it to be a good one again next week. They got a new coaching staff that came in. It'll be a fun one. The handoff this time will go to, I think that's Heck, and he's going to gain about 6 yards to the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4. You asked when the last time we ran the clock in this game was, Chad. It was October 3rd, 2025.
We're running it.
And I don't know. I remember – no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be nice. I said I would be.
Yep.
2nd and 4. It's Stinson in the shotgun. It's a clock at 4:08 and counting. If you are watching it in taps, if you're up by more than 40, the clock does run nonstop. It will not stop except for timeouts or the end of the quarter, which will be the end of the game in this one. So what a turnaround from one week to the next, Chad. And let's just be honest and call it what it is. Listen, I told you this. Last week was not what we are.
No, it's not. I mean,
it's never what we've been. And so for people who bought into thinking that was what we are, just hold on.
Yeah, Regents is good. They are really, really good. And we just got behind the 8 ball and just couldn't capitalize on certain situations, and it got away from us. Tonight, the guys answered the call, showed up, and played Brook Hill football.
And you know my favorite part of a game like this are the guys that are getting to play that don't normally get to play a whole lot. I see Beckett Lumley, Cade Reed, Reese Barton on that defensive line. Good for them to get in there and get some of this, because guess what?
It's Grace.
It's Grace.
And they'll always talk about it.
Absolutely. Handoff goes to Alexander. Alexander at the middle hurdles a guy. Okay, big fella, I see you. And he's up across the 45. Hey, listen, okay, I'm impressed.
Got some ups.
Clock at 2:47. It'll stop now as there is a timeout on the field. And I think this one may not be as much of an injury as maybe a we'll see. We'll go ahead. We'll keep it here because we're not going to have much time after the game, Chad. But, man, I'm looking at the stats for tonight. P.A. LaPont, 9 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Grant Gandy, 4 carries, 40 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Brig Hargett, 2 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Cole Schluter, 3 catches for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. PA had the 1 touchdown catch for 49 yards. But lost in all of those things, what Zach Riles done tonight. And let me count it up here on the fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of 14 in the game for 236 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
I mean, he does it quietly, but there were some things they wanted to take advantage of, and that was it.
And they did it.
So 2:47 to play, and now the clock will start
First and 10.
again. And first and 10 for the Cougars.
46-yard line.
Stinson will take the snap, pass over to McQuay, and McQuay will have a nice gain. Chase him down. He'll go into the end zone. Touchdown for the Cougars. That's Justice McQuay. With a 54-yard touchdown.
Complete. Number 2, Justice McQuay, that pass is.
So they didn't lay down either. I mean, look, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Right? They're going to keep playing.
Now looking across the way, they haven't had anybody leave, and you know they back their team just like we back ours, and you know they're going to fight till the end.
Point after is good, and it's 44-10. My guess is that they'll kick it off. I'm not sure. We're at 1:34 and counting before this one ends.
Uh-oh, it's a little roll tide.
Oh, Coach Dawkins on the ox again. He's in a good mood tonight too, for sure.
Absolutely. Everybody can breathe around campus now. I mean, it just around campus, around town, around the community. You know, it's again, everybody was kind of like, what happened last week? And everybody just need to pump the brakes just a little bit. Believe in this coaching staff, believe in this team, and you know we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, just relax. This is. You know, I've laughed this week at some of those things, right? Like, just don't worry about it.
I don't think we're gonna kick. I don't think they're gonna kick it off.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Throw the flag on them then. Throw the flag on them. You don't get unlimited time after a touchdown to kick it. I don't care. I'll be that guy. Throw the flag. Who's back deep?
Mid.
We've had some big returns. Go ahead and run it back. Yeah, they're not going to kick it. You know what?
Whose house?
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
You know what? Thank you, Coach Dawkins.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was here last night. I remember very loudly a chant that this was somebody else's house, and I think tonight shows whose house this is.
Yeah.
No doubt. 44-10.
Domination.
It was
pure domination tonight. Took us a little bit of time to get going, but once we got going, they couldn't stop us.
Well, no doubt who the better football team was tonight. And Brook Hill wins 44-10. And next week, it's Hyde Park coming in here, and it's going to be a good football game. I'm excited about that.
I am too.
So 44-10, Brook Hill wins over Grace. And you get that year of bragging in the rivalry if you win the game. And we will end it here. And we will see you next week here at Brook Hill, as it'll be Brook Hill and Hyde Park. So long, everybody. Have a good night.
Williams fights through the yards, breaks some tackles. Williams still on his feet. Williams breaks another tackle. Here he goes. He's got some blockers. Sam Williams, he ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, God. 59-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 2 for Sam Williams.
Yeah, whoa. They get set early, very quickly here. Play clock down to 3. Dixon gets it off, low snap. Pickram up the middle, and there he goes. Pickram into the secondary. Pickram is going to go. He is gone. Touchdown. Macho steps up in the pocket, and he gets away from one tackler, avoids another tackler, tries to run. He's still on his feet. Camacho's still on his feet. He's still running. Camacho, goodness gracious, he's still going. Camacho, is he going to score? Wow. Touchdown. Quick pass. Bork adjusts and intercepted, and he caught it.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's going all the way.
Oh, my God. No,
it's Taylor.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
And a pick 6.
Kind of stalled him out here. Brisbane got Stewart with a little.
Oh, he ran over the defender. The helmet coming off. Holy man.
Quarterback Smith. And Smith's in the gun. He's going to go back to pass. Goes out to his left. He's got a man open. It's Bork again. Caught. Bork breaks some tackle. Oh my gosh. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 10. Touchdown, Arp. What? Here we go. 1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott. It's a one-handed grab. He's going to go almost the whole way. Just tackle at the 1. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my goodness, Jason.
I don't think you'll see anything like that.
Woo.
That's not an East Texas highlight reel. That's Sports Center right there.
Man, oh, man. What a catch.